Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Wizards and guard Bradley Beal will be working together in trade talks, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. With next Thursday's NBA draft looming, rival teams have started reaching out to Washington about possibly trading for Beal. He does control his destinations as the NBA's only current player with a no-trade clause in his contract. Pelicans have had cursory discussions about moving into the top 5 of the draft and land a potential star. Today on Get Up, ESPN's Brian Windhorst said there's apparently some thought within the league that New Orleans may make former top overall pick Zion Williamson available in a trade this offseason. When it comes to Zion, the concern remains the same, notes ESPN's Bobby Marks.
I don't know if there's a magic wand where all of a sudden he gets traded somewhere and all of a sudden he becomes healthy again. I don't know if that's the case. That's the big thing. It's not from a talent perspective here, and you look at the body of work over the last 4 years, and it's been so uneven, and it's been health, right?
Bobby Marks on Fitz and Harry. Astros slugger Yordan Alvarez out at least 4 weeks because of an oblique strain.
Is your summer staffing situation significantly scarce? Then you need Indeed. Their powerful all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Man, do we have a lot to do today, but oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Counting down to Omaha.
Hump day.
Tigers touchdown earlier today.
It's hump day.
Actually on the practice field about an hour from right now.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We'll get you an update.
Hump day.
Saints camp earlier today.
It's hump day.
Let's hear from Dennis Allen.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Saints working out a new wide receiver.
Hump day.
From the SEC.
It's hump day.
Speaking of SEC football.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
2024 schedule release tonight.
Hump day.
Get fired up.
It's hump day.
Nothing gets me going.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Like a future schedule release.
Hump day.
All right, that's not exactly true.
It's hump day.
I'm a little curious. Yeah. A little curious.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Texas, Oklahoma. You're going to get Vandy. Maybe a little Kentucky. We'll see.
Hump day.
Oh, it's Zion. Gone.
It's hump day.
Did you hear? Zion's gone.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Andrew Lopez in 1 hour.
Hump day.
Todd Walker next hour.
It's hump day.
Pluckers trivia.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Muse, you're going 1 for 3 today. You're going 1 for 3.
So just like last week. Good.
Yeah, but last week that was just an epic failure. Your complete lack of general knowledge is just stunning.
That is your opinion.
No, that's stunning. The fact that you didn't know that Sonny Liston is who Muhammad Ali beat to win the heavyweight championship for the first time.
I know
it's
now.
One of the most iconic fights in the history of the sport, and has maybe the most iconic image in boxing history affixed to it. That's just stunning that you didn't know that. All right, let's get going here. Excited about it. As we mentioned, LSU is in Omaha. They left earlier today amid much fanfare. Literally, fans were out there at Alex Box Stadium sending the Tigers off. They flew to Omaha. And Jay Johnson's actually set to meet with the media in 1 hour from right now, 4 o'clock Central Time from Omaha. Actually, as we do every day as we start, let's kick it off this way.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
So, as we mentioned, Tigers are there in Omaha. And later today, I know they did make their way over to Schwab today as they had a lot of the sort of the fanfare and the things that were just a natural part of being there in Omaha at the College World Series. The opening ceremony will be on Thursday as well. So, the Tigers got to go take in Charles Schwab Field. Then they headed over to Creighton for their workout, which is where, as Jay Johnson mentioned yesterday, I don't know if you have this. Jay Johnson mentioned yesterday what they're going to do the rest. Actually, play that with Muse if you would, number 10. So this was, again, Jay Johnson yesterday. This was from Tuesday, but here's Jay Johnson explaining what the rest of the week would be like.
Yeah, we're going to work out today. Kind of found a sweet spot of timing that's worked really well for us since they've been out of school. It allows for the right work to be done, the recovery, all of that type of stuff. You know, we'll be doing our scouting and stuff like that. And then tomorrow, we'll leave tomorrow morning. We'll have a light workout tomorrow just to kind of, hey, we're going to get off the plane and, you know, do the deals that come with coming to the College World Series, but then we're going to go practice. Got a lot of bullpens that need to be thrown tomorrow. Hitters have some things that we want to do. Thursday we'll practice in the stadium, and then Friday we'll have another workout, kind of like a normal practice that we've been having here throughout the postseason, and tee it up on Saturday.
So they'll work out there at Creighton today, again, in about an hour from right now. Work out in the stadium on Thursday, and then Friday have another light workout. Then they play on Saturday against Tennessee. Not expecting that we're going to get any word on a pitching matchup. The thing that everyone has sort of asked about has been, you know, how that park plays and how it's different with that stadium being and having the reputation of being more of a pitcher's park. This is something Jay Johnson actually did talk about when he met with reporters. We're going to dive deeper into this here in just a second, but this is what Jay had to say about the park itself there and how big it plays.
You know, I think it's bigger, and I think, you know, what is a hitter's ballpark? I think maybe it's a little bit relative to what Rosenblatt used to be like, which was a launching pad. So I think it's evolved into more fair recently, and, you know, winning baseball is winning baseball, and then there's just creating an awareness of some things that might be unique about it, and so we'll spend some time, you know, doing that and make sure we're plugged in and dialed into what we need to do. I think the thing that gets lost of it not being a hitter's ballpark either is if you're in Omaha, you have great pitching, as we do, as all these other teams do, so it's just flat out harder to score when you're facing the opponents that are usually there.
So in theory, that does make sense. You're facing better pitching. However, the first year of the new ballpark, there were 6 home runs hit in the entire College World Series. That's flat out absurd. They played in Rosenblatt all the way up until 2010. And then if you remember, South Carolina won their back-to-back championships the last year at Rosenblatt and the first year at what was then TD Ameritrade in 2010, 2011. LSU made its debut at TD Ameritrade in 2013. Went back in 15 and again in 17. And what we've seen progressively is the power numbers go up at that park. And the dimensions aren't dramatically different from Alex Box Stadium. Straight down the lines at the box is 330. At Charles Schwab, it's 335. The box, it's 385 to the power alleys. At Charles Schwab, it's 375. So the box is actually farther in the alleys. The box straightaway center is 405. At Charles Schwab, it's 408. So the dimensions aren't dramatically different, but how the park plays is a little bit different. And remember, when they first moved to that park, there are several key differences. Obviously, Rosenblatt Stadium was a stadium that was built up on a hill. There was like in the middle of a neighborhood. It was a wind tunnel going out of there. You got the ball up into the jet stream, especially with the rocket launcher bats they used, and it was game over. Charles Schwab Field in downtown Omaha, you're more protected there with buildings around. You don't have much of that jet stream when the ball gets in the air. But what we have seen over the years is as they lowered the seam on the baseball, as they've started to juice the bats again, you've seen the home run numbers and the power numbers go up again. Muse pulled all of them in successive years. So this was you started after 2013, right? When LSU was there in 2013?
Right. Yeah, 14 was the last year they had the raised seam on the ball.
Right.
So I started there.
In 15, of course, LSU went back to Omaha. So pick up. So it was 6 the first year.
Right.
At TD Ameritrade, then TD Ameritrade. That was in 2011. They had 6 home runs in the entire College World Series. So that's for context. Pick up in 2014. Pick up in 14.
Which was actually worse than the first year. They hit 3 in 16 games. So keep in mind, the max amount of games you can play in the College World Series is 17. So 3 in 16 games.
3 homers in the whole series.
In 16 games.
Okay.
So then you raise the seam on the ball in 15. It jumps to 12. The number quadrupled.
You lowered the seam.
You lowered the seam in 15.
And for those that don't get it, when you lower the seam, it takes away some of the lag on the ball, right? If the seam is raised, the ball gets into the air, it's less aerodynamic. So anyway, go ahead.
So it quadruples to 12. I mean, that's you look at 12 and 16, you're like, oh, that's not a lot. But when you go from 3 to 16, that's massive. In 16, it dropped to 10. You had a lot of West Coast teams, Arizona, Coastal Carolina. I know they're not West Coast, but not power school. Santa Barbara. So keep in mind that. 17, 23 home runs in 16 games.
Pretty good.
1.5 per game. Just about 1.5 per game there.
That was a year Pap homered from both sides of the plate.
Both sides, yeah. Both sides of the plate there. 18, it dipped back down to 18, actually, in 16. The last 3 College World Series, Matt, those where you've seen the consistency. So in 2019, in 15 games, they hit 22 home runs.
Okay.
Again, right on that 1.5 per game average about. 2021, 28 home runs in 17 games, which was the most since a World Series was played at Rosenblatt Stadium. Again, 17's your max. You're thinking, well, there you go. But last year, in 15 games, 2 games less, you still had 28 home runs, right under 2 home runs per game at 1.86.
And then this year, I know I've referenced this, but this year, the Big Ten played their conference tournament at Charles Schwab Field as well. What were the home run numbers for the Big Ten tournament?
They played 13 games, had 13 home runs, so 1 home run per game.
So the point being, for all the talk about the park playing big, I think for a lot of LSU fans, it's just it's remembering what it was like when LSU was there in 13 and 15 when the home run numbers were way down. I guess they were even up in 15, but it was harder to hit there. They've changed the bat, they've changed the ball. It's just different playing there now. So yes, it's not the short porch at Georgia. It's not the bandbox at Tennessee and Lindsey Nelson, but it's also not, it doesn't play like it once did. And you're talking about a year now where I want to remind you, college baseball collectively set a record for the most home runs hit in a season in college baseball. So even in context, even go back to 97, 98, the Gorilla Ball days when everybody had rocket launchers in their hands. College baseball, there were more home runs this year in college baseball than back then. So I'm not super concerned about the way the ballpark plays or it being too big or any of those things that were sort of the nightmare scenario when LSU went back in 2013. And I have a fundamental problem with the way it was, and I think they recognize that. And the moment that always comes into my head is when Chris Chinea just murdered a baseball to right center field, and it was just a long fly ball out against UCLA. A pitcher should not be able to make when a hitter puts a good swing on a bad pitch, the pitcher shouldn't be rewarded. That was happening in baseball. And similarly, if you go way back, a bad swing on a good pitch also shouldn't be rewarded. There has to be some common ground. And I think college baseball has come closer to that. So I expect Moose just went through it. The last 3 years, of course, there was no series in 20, but in 19, it was 22 homers. And then the last 2 years, it's been 28 homers in each of those World Series. So go back to 2014 when there were 3, or the first year at TD Ameritrade when there were 6 in the entire World Series. Like, it's a different game now. You'll have an opportunity to park one in the bleachers there at Charles Schwab Field. So as much as we want to talk about that, I genuinely don't believe it's as big of a talking point or should be as big of a talking point as it's been in years past. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Of course, our show open every day, brought to you by our friends over at Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana. College World Series gets started this weekend. If you're going to be having that game watch, make sure you have plenty of ice-cold Bud Light. And when you're walking through Rouse's or wherever your favorite store is, make sure you look for the camouflage aluminum bottle of Bud Light and Budweiser, because every purchase of those aluminum bottles with the camouflage logo, with the Folds of Honor logo, portion of those sales goes to Folds of Honor. And over the last 13 years, Bud Light, Budweiser have donated $21 million to Folds of Honor. It's a great charity where they raise money for scholarships for the children of our fallen soldiers and war heroes. It's Folds of Honor. It's a great partnership, an inaugural partner with Bud Light and with Budweiser. So drink easy in Louisiana. Enjoy the College World Series. And when you do reach into the cooler to grab that ice-cold Bud Light, make sure you're grabbing the aluminum bottles that have the camouflage logo with the Folds of Honor logo on it. There's a QR code on the back to where you can learn more about Folds of Honor as well. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll head down to NOLA. Saints were back at minicamp today. Dennis Allen talked about it after. And the Saints brought in a former SEC wide receiver and worked him out today. I'm a little curious as to why. We'll talk about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Father's Day is this weekend. Eric and I were having this conversation last night. We picked out our menu from Rouse's. So if you're thinking about what you're going to do for Father's Day, if you don't want dad to grill and you don't want to cook, or you don't want to, if you are dad and you don't want to grill or cook, let Rouse's take care of it. Erica's a really picky eater, and she loves the brisket from Rouse's. Like, we get that often there from the Rouse's there at the Long Farm location on Antioch. So for Father's Day, we always host the whole, like, extended family. There's 20 people or so. Might even be more than that. So we go and we get brisket, and we get pulled pork, and we can make pulled pork or brisket sandwiches. We get a lot of sides, like mac and cheese. They've got baked beans, potatoes au gratin, some great stuff. Just place your order. You can go in and place. You can place it by phone as well, and then be ready to pick up on Sunday for Father's Day. Great opportunity this Father's Day to let Rouse's take care of all the cooking. And, of course, everything you need, all the sides, the desserts, your drinks, they got everything. It's Rouse's. More than 60 locations. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's, this feels like home.
Turn my music high, 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 yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you could run the slalom. And cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. Where personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I'm glad you're rolling along with us. If you were here at the top of the hour and you heard Sports Center, there's a report out there that the Pelicans are willing to trade Zion Williamson in order to go up to number 2 overall in this upcoming draft next week's NBA draft. So we're going to talk in about 40 minutes from right now with our buddy Andrew Lopez, ESPN.com. We're going to get all of the particulars about that, what a deal might look like, who else might be included, picks, all that sort of stuff, and just what might the Pelicans be thinking. It's so bizarre, and the stark contrast to what it felt like the night the Pelicans won the lottery, and then seeing that elation in the Pelicans executive room the night of the lottery, and then whenever the pick came in and they picked Zion and Fulton Street was packed and there were streamers coming down from balconies, and all of the exultation, all of the elation, all of the positivity, the good vibes that surrounded drafting Zion Williamson after losing Anthony Davis to the Lakers, which felt like a rebirth of the organization, and it just hasn't worked with Zion. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. When he's been healthy, it's been awesome, but that's been the outlier. So is this time? Is it time for the Pelicans to part ways with Zion Williamson? It might be. It might be. And if it is, we'll get that word. So we'll talk to Andrew Lopez coming up next hour about that. Todd Walker in about a little more than 1 hour from right now as well. Talk a little College World Series with T-Dub, who was there in Hattiesburg for the Tennessee Super Regional against Southern Miss. So we'll talk to T-Dub again a little more than an hour from right now. Saints have a 3-day minicamp this week. We gave you a full day one report yesterday from all of the media availability at practice. Here was Dennis Allen, who met with the media on Wednesday, recapping day 2 of minicamp.
Look, I thought it was a good practice. I thought our guys got out here, competed. I thought we got better today. And, right now we're competing against each other, but we're also competing against the other 31 teams in our league right now. And so all we can really, focus on is what we're doing here, and focus on trying to get better at something every single day. And look, we've worked a lot of situational type offense, defense, situations in the kicking game. And, I think our guys have, kind of had their head down and just gone to work.
Not only did the Saints work situational settings, they also worked out several players. And one of them is a former SEC receiver in Lynn Bowden from Kentucky. Does that name sound familiar? Lynn Bowden is maybe best known from his time at Kentucky for the 2019 Belk Bowl. Do you remember this? You may not remember, I don't think you plan your annual football watching calendar around the Belk Bowl. But in 2019, this was on New Year's Eve, 2019, Kentucky played Virginia Tech. And in that game, Lynn Bowden actually played quarterback in that game for Kentucky. So he's a receiver who played quarterback and flat went off. Now, there was another layer of intrigue because before that game, the two teams got in a fight and Lynn Bowden threw a punch and probably should have been ejected, but played in the game anyway and ran the ball 34 times for 233 yards. It was the most yards rushing by a quarterback in a bowl game since Johnny Football went off against Duke in the Chick-fil-A Bowl back in the day, if you remember that. Now, before the Chick-fil-A Bowl became like that was when it was just the Chick-fil-A Bowl, because they had different bowls. They had the Peach Bowl and the Chick-fil-A Bowl and Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Anyway, it was before it became a really good bowl. So huge day for Lynn Bowden back then. He also was 6 of 12 passing for 73 yards and a tud, had 2 touchdowns rushing. So Lynn Bowden is like a really, really elite high-level athlete who was a receiver at Kentucky but stepped in and played quarterback in that bowl game. And he ended up becoming a third-round pick of the Las Vegas Raiders. Hence the Derek Carr connection. As we continue to see this deeper and deeper, you bring in Foster Moreau. We've seen they brought in Brian Edwards, who, of course, South Carolina receiver, who was with Derek Carr there in Las Vegas as well. So this is back in the 2020 draft when the Raiders drafted Lynn Bowden, and now they're bringing him back here because of the Carr connection. It makes a lot of sense. But he was traded from the Raiders to Miami, played in 10 games that year. And it was weird that he was traded to Miami in September. So, like, the season had just started. They drafted Lynn Bowden, then they trade him to Miami. Plays in 10 games, started 4 times, spent the entire 2021 season on injured reserve. Then Miami released him. New England signed him to the practice squad. This past year, they elevated him in Week 9 to the active roster, but then played in 14 snaps in that one game against the Colts and was sent back down to the scout team. And then obviously was released. So Bowden's been looking for a new team. Last week worked out for the Dallas Cowboys. They instead signed former LSU Tiger Tyron Johnson, who, of course, was from Warren Easton, went to LSU, and then transferred to Oklahoma State, had a pretty good career there, and is now signed with the Dallas Cowboys. So Lynn Bowden had still been a free agent. Now the Saints are working him out. My only question with Lynn Bowden, I get it. The Raiders drafted him. He was there in 2020 with the Raiders for a bit before they traded him to Miami. So a player that had some familiarity and acquaintance with Derek Carr. I just wonder where the Saints are going to fit all of these wide receivers. That's the thing that kind of makes me go, what exactly are you looking to do here? And I'm the guy who always has my hand in the air and I say, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. There is no standing pat in the NFL. You always have to be looking to improve your team, and if at any point you add a player that can improve your team or has the possibility, you do it. But when I look at the Saints receiver situation right now, you've got Chris Olave coming off a dynamic rookie season. You've got Michael Thomas coming off of injury, which you hope Michael Thomas is ready for a great year. You hope Rashid Shaheed, again, is ready to take that next step. And so, admittedly, there are question marks there with those guys. But on top of that, you still got Traquan Smith. We just sent that guy to the island, by the way. You draft A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest. You brought Brian Edwards in. You signed James Washington as well. So you've brought in 2 free agent receivers. You drafted a receiver. You've got 3 guys back, all of whom you're hoping take the next step forward. That's not even to include Traquan Smith, who for some reason they still have some eyes toward. And then on top of that, you got young guys like Kawan Baker and Keith Kirkwood and Kirk Merritt, who at various times have made their presence felt and maybe could be special teams guys. So I don't know, man. Lynn Bowden's a great athlete. He was a really good receiver at Kentucky and is a guy who could probably help you out on special teams in a lot of different areas. But he's going into his 4th year in the NFL, and it's fair to say, man, in this very relatively short amount of time, you've been with the Raiders, with the Dolphins, with the Patriots. You worked out for Dallas. You still can't stick anywhere. You missed the entire 2021 season on IR, but maybe it's one of those instances where the quarterback can vouch for him and you have a possibility of making your team better at the bottom of your receiver depth or rotation, where you look at guys like Kirk Merritt and Kawan Baker and Keith Kirkwood, who have found their way to stick with the New Orleans Saints, but maybe Lynn Bowden's a guy that can give you a better option there, both as a receiver, potentially a runner, and then also on special teams. Now, for whatever it's worth, when we start talking about receivers and depth at that position this year, Chris Olave is one of the guys that met with reporters after the first day of this minicamp on Tuesday and talked about the potential of that sort of big 3 of Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, and Rashid Shaheed all out there together.
I feel like we all help each other. We all got different play styles and different games, but when we put all 3 of us together, it's like I feel like it's gonna be huge being on the field at the same time. We never been on the field at the same time, but just having those 3 different play styles come together, I feel like can be huge for us.
It's one of the more interesting questions about the Saints team because Olave was a 1,000-yard receiver as a rookie. Michael Thomas, again, when he's been at his best, or even if he could even approach that, staying healthy for 17 games, could still be a very productive receiver. And then Rashid Shaheed, we saw with explosive big play potential, but can he do it over 17 games? So while there is, with those three in tandem, I believe a very high ceiling, I also believe there's very real question to say, can you even approach that ceiling? With Michael Thomas, who's always hurt, and Rashid Shaheed, who has a very, very small sample, and what does it look like if you try to extrapolate that over 17 games? I don't know. So I'm just as curious to see what that all looks like with Derek Carr pulling the trigger as everyone else right now, but maybe a guy like Lynn Bowden can factor into that mix a little bit. So Saints are on the field. See if they do, in fact, offer a contract to any of these guys who worked out today. Kiki Kuti also tried out for the Saints today along with Lynn Bowden, but former SEC receiver who is a pretty dynamic athlete. Can he find a home in New Orleans? We'll start to see. Okay, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, online, theantiagingclinics.com. Remember, all this month, you want to get rid of that unsightly back or shoulder hair? You could do it. I mean, if you're a grotesque human like me, where you have hair everywhere you don't want it and nowhere where you do, the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana can help. You're embarrassed taking your shirt off at the beach or the pool because of all your body hair. You got to get clippers out to shave all that and take care of it. Don't worry about it. Let the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana give you a permanent solution with laser hair removal. Buy 4 treatments, get 2 free all this month at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. All right, Taylor Calandro in 15 minutes. We'll do a little Bourbon Dictionary. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC and Kim Mulkey flexing on the board of supervisors. We'll tell you why next. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. Of course, we tell you all the time about their exquisite guest room, all of the amenities, the great suites, the 4-diamond hotel there. It's the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. The meeting space, great opportunity if you want to have a wedding reception, if it's your a conference for your business, an awards ceremony, a fundraising event. They can do it all there at the Renaissance Hotel. Up to 7,000 square feet of meeting space. It's a great opportunity, centrally located in Baton Rouge. But remember also Tallulah, the restaurant inside the Renaissance Hotel. It's casual, upscale dining, and it's affordable. You can get the best burger in Baton Rouge at lunch and eat for about $10 a head. Next time you're going to have that business lunch and you're talking to everybody, hey, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Recommend Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel right there on Bluebonnet. It's the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
The LSU Board of Supervisors is going to meet on Thursday, and they are going to vote. They are expected to vote. This is on the agenda. They are expected to vote on a plan to renovate and upgrade the women's basketball locker room and adjacent areas of the PMAC. The project in total will cost $1.5 million and will be funded by TAF. Could be complete by October 1st. The entire project should be completed by December 31st. Kim Mulkey, since she took the job, has cited the need for improvements to the PMAC and a lot of the ancillary areas as well. And after winning the national championship when she was at the Rotary Club back in late April, she went ham, saying, quote, "I can say this now, I just won a national championship," adding that the entire PMAC needed to be renovated or replaced. She said, quote, "It's time to either completely renovate it or build one next to it and tear that one down." So you can tell what she's pushing for. What's interesting to me, and look, things don't make the Board of Supervisors agenda if they're not going to be approved. The board is there essentially to rubber stamp whatever it is that the people presenting things to the agenda want approved. So TAF is going to pay for this. It's going to be approved. The board will rubber stamp it tomorrow. And Kim's going to get $1.5 million in upgrades to locker rooms and team lounges and coaches lounges and video rooms and stuff like that, which is needed. What's very interesting to me, twofold. Number one is obviously the impact Kim Mulkey has had in such a short amount of time. That really goes without saying. The other is we've had this conversation for a long time about what donors are going to elect to contribute to. Meaning, with NIL being a thing now, will donors give to NIL, the collective, or will they give to TAF? And, of course, TAF funds a lot of things like facility upgrades and coaches' pay and salaries and things like that. So, ultimately, the question everywhere that you have to ask is, are you robbing Peter to pay Paul? Is the $1.5 million that's going to be earmarked for these facility upgrades, is that $1.5 million that could have otherwise gone into the collective to help pay your student athletes? And we're going to ultimately get those answers in time. Only a larger sample size will reveal the answer to that question. So I don't have the answer right now, but it's going to be a fascinating thing to watch unfold if individually sports-specific, LSU is able to continue raising the money it needs for its collective while also maintaining and keeping pace on facilities. All right, it's after further, so that's going to be approved tomorrow, and when it is, we'll maybe get a little more definition around it. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Mold Zero USA. Mold-Zero USA.com. Mold-Zero USA.com. kill mold, remove odors, patented non-toxic dry fog. Tell you this all the time. I love sharing testimonials a lot of times when I can. And if you go to Mold Zero's website, mold-zerousa.com, you'll see some of these testimonials. This one's from a homeowner named Tara H., who said, "What a wonderful service, a more affordable solution to killing mold, and comes with a 1-year warranty. Absolute professionals across the board. The customer service is great. They answer all of your questions, make sure you know what they're doing. I have a lot of nice things in my apartment, so I'm usually worried when workers come. With this company, I didn't worry at all. They were truly so kind and helpful. 10 out of 10 would recommend." Again, it's Mold Zero. You can trust who's coming into your home. It's Mold Zero, a cheaper, more effective alternative for remediation and mold services. Mold-ZeroUSA.com. Mold-ZeroUSA.com. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC. Now that's
Around
the
the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Excellence in imaging solutions. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
I mean, I just had a flash way back.
Hat tip Cade Wazan on that one.
The OG, man. CV is the OG. When they turned the lights on in this building, it was like me and Cade. That was it. I mean, nobody else here. Cade dug into the Wayback Machine and found this one, huh?
Yeah.
So was this the... wasn't this a Nickelback song?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure this was a Nickelback song.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, especially like when AFR started, like 2010.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this was I don't know the song.
This doesn't sound like newer Nickelback either, though.
Well, no. I mean,
yeah.
Does Nickelback have anything new?
I don't know.
I don't think
That's
so.
a good question.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Man. I tell you, all the nostalgia.
I kind of like it, too.
Bringing back the nostalgia. I mean, isn't nostalgia always the thing that tugs at your emotional heartstrings?
Yeah.
It's like why everything comes back around like fashion. You know, bell-bottom jeans and platform shoes had their minute again in the 2000s.
Yeah.
It's like everything goes around, comes around. Like people wearing bike shorts now. Like bike
All the
shorts are a
time.
thing again. Like that was a thing when in the late 80s, early 90s, bike shorts. Now bike shorts are back. I don't get it.
You want me to hit the Arkansas thing again? Or?
Sure.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And I actually hate that we did that because this is actually a tragic story to start. An Arkansas defensive tackle recruit, Deion Stutz, died Tuesday. He was a defensive lineman out of Batesville, Mississippi. He crashed on his family's property, crashed in an ATV on his family's property. He was a 3-star recruit committed to the Razorbacks back in March as part of their class of 2024. May he rest in peace, and sincere condolences to his family and everyone associated with Arkansas. Meanwhile, Arkansas did also land another commitment. 3-star athlete Akari Johnson committed to the Razorbacks, 6 foot, 185-pound athlete who played with current Arkansas defensive lineman Landon Jackson, who, of course, was an LSU Tiger at one point. Johnson's commitment gives the Hogs 11 commits for the class of 2024.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn landed a pair of commits for the 2024 cycle. 4-star safety Kensley Faustin and 3-star wide receiver Bryce Kane both took an official visit to Auburn this past weekend. Kane had been a heavy lean to Ole Miss, but after his official committed to Auburn, both again took their officials this past weekend.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And Georgia got a commitment from 4-star defensive lineman Jordan Thomas out of New Jersey. He's the number 1 recruit in Jersey, 13th overall defensive lineman in the country, the number 105 player in the country, 6'5", 300-pounder, the 19th commit for Georgia's 2024 class. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products, online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you always get at Gulf Coast Office Products. The official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the ULL Ragin' Cajun. So are we sticking with the OG around the SEC?
So I'm not opposed. I think he does get a little aggressive there in the middle, so I turned it down a little bit. But I'd have to ask Cade. We'd have to figure out which song it is so I can get longer. That's only a minute. It needs to be a little bit longer.
You could just loop it.
I did, and that's what I did there. But it also has the fade on the end, so I'd want to eliminate the fade. And I'm not opposed to keeping it. I just want to do some work on it if we do.
This is a radiotatorship. Got it. I'll make my decision later after I fully gather all of the evidence and consider it. Or is that what you would do, Muse, as a 6?
That's what I would do, yeah.
Me, I'm just ready for IRA.
You're just like, let's keep it.
Make a decision. Just go. Make a decision. Let's go. All right, it's after further review. Bourbon Dictionary, Taylor Calandro next. And in 15 minutes, Zion on the trading block. We're talking about it with Andrew Lopez. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by New Orleans Flooring. It's NOLAflooring.com. That's NOLAflooring.com. You need floors in your house? What do you need? You want tile? You want hardwood, laminate, carpet? They got it all. And why in the world would you buy the same flooring product for 40, 50, 60% more than you could at New Orleans Flooring? Either location, Metairie and Airline Highway in Prairieville. Get on by. It's New Orleans Flooring. Again, buy where the pros buy. And the reason the pros, contractors, house flippers, remediation companies, the reason they all buy at New Orleans Flooring is it's all about the bottom line. Can they get that flooring for a cheaper price, which lets more money fall to the bottom line? New Orleans Flooring does that. So buy where the pros buy. Carpet, tile, hardwood, laminate, waterproof flooring. They got it all. And there's a really cool feature at the website where you can see the floors in your room of your home, where you just upload a picture of your room and you can see it. Get to the website and check it out. NOLAflooring.com. That's NOLAflooring.com.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you.
Pop, pop.
What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Let's get your booze questions in. Fire away. You can ask Taylor anything about booze. Email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Yo, dude, how are you?
Great. I was just following y'all's previous conversation. Moose doesn't want Nickelback, and you want Nickelback back.
We haven't made that decision. And by the way, that's really not a good thing, because now I have to reset the entirety of the conversation, because not a lot of people, there's the possibility people weren't here in the previous segment. So now in doing that, you've wasted 30 seconds because now I have to reset. So around the SEC, we had an original bid 15 years ago, however long ago it was. We changed it, had a new open. We've basically gone back and forth this week trying to decide what to do. And in the last segment, we just played the original bid, which is a Nickelback song, as shout out to Travis Arsenault, who texted me. The song is called Shaking Hands by Nickelback. So I do remember correctly, it was. Now, no. You don't get to say anything more about it, because now you've wasted time and you made me reset. So let's talk booze. And I also have to crush you, because you were part of my segment on, what day was it, Muse? Was it Monday?
Of course it was Monday, yeah.
It was Monday. You were part of the receipts segment on Monday, Taylor Calandro. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, opinions and feelings change, Matt. And you probably had a very similar opinion to mine when the opinion was had. So, thank you very much.
I'll tell you that
I'm the happiest man on earth right now.
Good. We all should be. It's National Bourbon Day, by the way. Did you know that?
I did. I had it on my calendar. Actually, one of my customers told me that last week it was coming, so I put it on my calendar this week.
I'm fired up about this. So tonight,
I don't know what it means, but yes, it's National Bourbon Day.
So tonight for Scone and Tea over at Oliver Twist, half off of all bourbon tonight.
Dang. I didn't know that.
Half off everything tonight from 6 until 9.
People got to go over there, because Josh has a good selection over there of American whiskey for sure. I would suggest going over there. He's got one of the best selections as far as American whiskey in the city, just of open bottles. So it's definitely worth checking out. Absolutely. I didn't know they were doing that tonight.
I always say that you should, before you buy a bottle, try it. And what an opportunity tonight to even try some of the best stuff you'll ever find anywhere at half price. That's kind of a crazy thing. So y'all come and hang out with us tonight at Oliver Twist.
Yeah, man.
We got a ton of questions. Do you have anything new?
Not really, no. That whistle pick syrup we talked about last week was supposed to be coming today, but the truck hasn't gotten here yet. So that should be coming by the end of the day. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have that whistle pick syrup for the weekend. It should be an exceptional weekend for sports consumption and alcohol as well.
How long do you think it will take LSU to break the Jello shot challenge record?
What's the Jello shot challenge?
Oh, you haven't seen this? So there's a bar in Omaha, and every year they have a leaderboard of all the teams in the College World Series. And if you go to the bar and you get Jello shots, they keep a running tally of what fan base consumes the most Jello shots.
I've heard of it. Man, Omaha's got to be a totally different place when LSU comes to town, just as far as like liquor sales and alcohol sales and stuff. Those people just got to be so happy right now.
I would imagine so. Hospitality will do quite well this week in Omaha. All right, here's one from Greg. Whiskey Wednesday question for you. I'm headed to the beach for the 4th. I'd love to bring some whiskey that I can serve cold and sip on in the evening. Any recommendation on something that's light and tasty?
I wouldn't necessarily call it light, but I would get Angel's Envy Rye to put on ice and sip on the beach or on the back porch of your beach house or whatever it is. It's sweet, and I mean, I'm not a huge fan of whiskey at the beach, but I would definitely sip on that in the evenings on ice for sure.
That's a great recommendation. Trent Rish, how much is that retail right now, by the way? Angel's Envy Rye.
$100.
It's up to 100. Wow.
It's still around. I mean, it's been sitting around 100 for a few years. It's expensive, man, but that's not a bottle that you're going to sit there and drink a whole lot of in one sitting, So yeah. I feel like you get your money's worth out of it.
Trent Ritchie asked Taylor, favorite scotch, and do you go neat or rocks?
I'm a huge fan of Islay scotch. So my favorite scotches are going to be older Islay. So I like the really smoky, peaty stuff. It could be Lefroy. Lagavulin is one of my favorite distilleries, just because the smoke is a little sweeter than say Lefroy. Lefroy's like barbecue-y. The smoke's a little sweeter on the Lagavulin. So, and I'll do Scotch on the rocks or neat. I generally prefer to drink whiskey on the rocks when it's hotter outside and neat in the winter.
Adam Berthelot, Taylor, have you had a new riff? Any chance of a Calandro's barrel pick?
I have had a new riff. It was a barrel pick, and I can't remember which barrel pick it was. And it's not available in the state, so no, there's zero chance right now.
Okay. Brandon Frederick asked Taylor, best Kentucky distillery to stop at with the kids?
I mean, the kids are going to find, it depends on how old the kids are, but the kids will find just the factory, and I say that in quotation marks, like the factory aspect of a distillery. So I would try to go to like a bigger distillery with all the bells and whistles, with the line, like Jim Beam's got a cool experience, and they've got nice restaurants on property you can eat at. Maker's Mark's the same way.
Very cool.
So I would go to a place like that.
Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Y'all get on by, get your booze for the weekend as well. All right, man, we appreciate you. Thanks.
All right, man. Go Tigers.
We'll see you. Andrew Lopez, is Zion out of NOLA? That's next, AFR.
AFR.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. A state police commissioner who came under fire after a black employee at his business sued recently received Senate confirmation for that appointment. The state police commission says when his name came up, no senators opposed his appointment, so by default, he was confirmed. His appointment raising questions among watchdogs with all the scrutiny state police has faced. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. NBA draft 8 days away. Rival teams beginning to reach out to the Wizards to explore the possibility of trading for Bradley Beal. He and the team will be working together in trade talks, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Beal's the only current NBA player with a no-trade clause and has control over possible destinations. Appears to be some thought within the league that the Pelicans may make Zion Williamson, a former number 1 overall pick, available in a trade this offseason. ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst told Get Up the Pelicans have had cursory discussions about moving into the top 5 in next Thursday's draft to try to land a potential star. ESPN NBA analyst J.J. Redick.
The only way I'm considering trading Zion Williamson is if I know right now in mid-June that he's not in shape. As of right now, coming off a hamstring injury, he should be strong, he should be fit, he should be back on the court.
He's here. That tweet from the Bills today regarding receiver Stephon Diggs. He took part in today's minicamp practice after being absent yesterday.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Todd Walker, bottom of this hour. This is interesting. Bruce Feldman just tweeted, Texas Tech is going to induct the late Mike Leach into the Red Raiders Hall of Honors, as well as Cliff Kingsbury into their Hall of Fame in September. Leach is Texas Tech's all-time winningest coach. He did, however, leave there amid scandal. So, and there was a lawsuit, which I don't know that the lawsuit between Mike Leach and Texas Tech ever was settled. Don't quote me on that, because I don't actually remember right off the top if that ever was settled. But suffice to say, there's very bad blood between Mike Leach and Texas Tech, and that's one of those things where you would certainly wish things would have gone differently and maybe been resolved while Mike Leach was still living. But in any event. So, the NBA draft is just a week away. And there was a report, and I believe I have it here, that NBA insider Mark Stein was the first to report it, that the Pelicans are considering trading Zion Williamson in order to move up and draft combo guard Scoot Henderson. Andrew Lopez, good friend of the show, ESPN.com, good enough to join us here to talk about it. How are you, dude?
I'm good. I'm glad I am available for you now to make this call. It's been a busy day. It's going to be, I think, a busy 8 days until the draft next week. But that's the NBA offseason for you now.
So you see the report that the Pelicans are open to trading Zion Williamson. Your immediate reaction is?
Not shocked. It's kind of been something that's been floating around for a few days. You heard some whispers last week, even before, I think, all of the issues that happened last week. And I want to be very clear about this. I don't think any of this is because of what happened or has happened in the last 7 to 8 days with Zion in regards to his off-the-court drama. I don't think any of this is because of that. They have things that they need to look at. If anything gets done, I think that's the reason that this gets done, not because of anything that is going on right now. Immediate reaction is you have to be, if this is a move that you're willing to make, you have to be very, 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 maybe a couple more varies, sure that Scoot Henderson is going to be that guy. And for a guy who's already kind of dipped in some projections to 3, there's some, you still got to feel that way. Now, all along, this has been Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson, Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson. Brandon Miller has kind of, ascended a little bit. I think he fits, if these teams were flipped, maybe if anybody other than Charlotte was at number 2 with LaMelo Ball, you're probably looking at Scoot being the number 2 guy. So to me, I think it's just, you have to be very, very sure about him if this is the move you are going to make.
Okay, let's dot a few I's, cross a few T's first. So you mentioned there that would happen in the last week. Of course, a week ago there was, I don't know if we could even call it scandal, just sort of an embarrassing public story that came out. But you mentioned that it could be more of a financial decision. Explain the financial implications of a Zion deal.
So right now you're looking at Zion, who's at he's going to start the 5-year, $171 million deal where he's at right now. I believe he is at 30, just under 34 million this year. CJ McCollum is at 36 million. Brandon Ingram is going to be slightly above Z's number. Those 3 guys taking up 106 million, 108, whatever it is, it's not exactly ideal. It limits your ability to make other moves, especially when you have Jay-Z on the books for 15, you have Larry Nance on the books for 10. You're kind of relying in that scenario on all of your draft picks to make sure that they're going to be in the right spot for you. And, a Herb number is going to come down the line. A trade number is going to come down the line. You want to keep those guys. It's going to get expensive sooner rather than later. And I know Pels fans don't want to, hear you talking about, I don't care about down the line. I want to try to win right now. You have to kind of make some new maneuvers, because of this new CBA. And I think that's kind of the key here. If you can get off of one of those contracts and get a guy who's going to be, cost controlled for 4 years in Scoot, who you think could be a guy like these, like your big 3, then you have to at least consider that in the move. And I don't know if they're, I think in our mock draft today on ESPN, John Fingavoni mentioned possibly Brandon Ingram in that pick for, being able to, being an option for that second pick. I don't know about that. I think I would lean that they would be, more inclined to trade Z than BI, but I don't really know. I think it's kind of, they're just looking at all options right now. And if, nothing presents itself that they like, both guys can be back and everything is fine. Like, I just think they are doing all of their due diligence and homework right now to see what's the best way they can move forward with this team.
That is an important distinction, because so often we see reports like this and we immediately jump to the conclusion, making the assumption that the deal is done. That's clearly not the case here. But do you feel like this is an indicator that the organization has given up on Zion Williamson ever being healthy and a consistent all-star?
I don't know about not being consistent all-star, because they know he can. I mean, what he does when he is on the court is phenomenal. You're looking at a guy who is a 2-time All-Star and only playing 114 games out of a possible 308 in 4 seasons. To me, it would kind of speak more to how he has handled himself off the court. And again, not in terms of what happened last week with the kind of the embarrassing situation. Is he showing up for rehab? Is he doing everything he is supposed to be doing? And they just have to kind of look at it from what's going to be there. And if availability is an ability, and that hasn't been one of where Zion has shined in these 4 years. So they're just, again, looking to do what is best overall. And if that's have more guys on the court, who they feel that they can trust. That's what you're looking at there.
So the very obvious follow-up then is, why would another team trade for Zion?
Everybody's always going to feel there's only going to be one team who's going to be like, I can fix it. We can do it. New Orleans did everything wrong. We're going to do everything right. And it only takes one team. Just last summer, Rudy Gobert was traded for 4 first-round picks and Walker Kessler, who the Utah Jazz had just selected, or the Timberwolves had just selected in the first round. They gave up everything for Rudy Gobert. And it was immediately kind of 5 first-rounders for Rudy Gobert. Like, it just takes one team. And if one team is out there, believes that they can fix him, then that's it. Maybe it's the look. He didn't like the training staff, so he didn't show up to his appointments on time. He didn't like, he didn't like the way they handled him. He wanted to get out of New Orleans. He never wanted to be there in the first. Whatever you want to try and convince yourself of, if you're another team, if you can do it, you go. Because here's what happens if you get Zion Williamson. You get national TV games. You get a boost in jersey sales. You're going to get the recognition that comes with having Zion Williamson on your team. And somebody is going to talk themselves into that if he is truly, truly available.
What would a deal potentially look like? What else would be included?
So you can make it as simple as Charlotte, for instance. Let's just talk about Charlotte, since they have the number 2 pick right now. It could be very simple, and that's all it could be. That works. I think CBA-wise. Maybe, if you want to put Mark Williams in, I think that actually works. You don't have to put a Gordon Hayward in that contract. This is also going to kind of tell us maybe what the value is. Again, I just talked about that Rudy Gobert deal. I don't think if you would have asked anybody what Rudy Gobert's value was last summer, that anybody would have said 5 first-round picks. So I don't know if you're looking at multiple picks here for Z. He is about to start that contract because of the clauses. It is not guaranteed right now. So if you wanted to walk away, you could, in theory, if anything were to happen. To me, I still think it has a lot of factors. I think we're going through a little exercise right now with some of my colleagues at ESPN. Look for a story on Friday with some Z trades, maybe some mock trades. But it's kind of up in the air because he still has value. He still is the guy who's averaged 26 and 7 on 60% shooting in his career. He still is a guy who makes an impact when he is on the court. Obviously, like we talked about, it's just when he's on the court.
Yeah. Andrew Lopez, before you go, if we do play out the hypothetical, what does Scoot look like in New Orleans?
Scoot has been like I said earlier, he has been the guy who he's gone through 2 years in the G League team, which he's the first guy to do that. He's played with Dyson Daniels. He's had he's familiar with doing that. He is kind of your combo guard. You put the ball in his hands, he's going to go. He's going to get the baskets. He's going to score. I think one of his better highlights this year was I think he had dunk against the G League, the Pels, the G League team. Does not shoot it maybe the way you want. I guess that's when you kind of call in. That's maybe when you call in and say, "Hey, Fred, this is yours." I think he shot it better toward the end of the year. To me, he is still kind of a guy who you're hoping he becomes if you want to look at it like go back to 2019 when it was Victor and Zion and Ja. It's Victor and Scoot, and you still feel that Scoot can be that kind of guy. He can kind of take over the point guard role, get into what you want, kind of take that role from CJ a little bit, and then grow with this team, especially as you go forward. He's still on the younger side. He has put 2 years in at a professional level, so I think he'll be more ready to play than most of your regular 19-year-olds coming in, just because of what he's already done in the G League.
Well, it's never boring, and it's going to be really interesting next 8 days. He's on Twitter at _Andrew_Lopez. Give him a follow, ESPN.com. We'll be watching. Thanks, man.
No problem.
All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. Todd Walker, bottom of the hour, so we'll flip the order here. We'll do overrated, underrated next. Todd Walker, bottom of the hour, talking some LSU, Tennessee, and College World Series. Stick around. AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Of course, the godfather of NIL. Been at the forefront. We're thrilled to be partnered with him as well. And as we've told you for just years now, more than 3 decades, Gordon has helped injured people in Louisiana with the representation they need, get what they deserve. And, of course, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Great NIL partners, and they've got the G team. And as we head toward the College World Series, all the members of the G team that are going to be representing the Tigers in Omaha, Gavin Guidry, Gavin Dugas, Trey Morgan, they got autographed baseballs, 20 autographed baseballs available that they're giving away. All you got to do is go to social media, @GetGordon. You could see how you can enter to win. It's totally free, of course, to win one of these autographed baseballs from Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys and the members of the G team, Gavin Guidry, Gavin Dugas, and Trey Morgan. Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon. Get it done.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down to
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
104.5 ESPN and Rev Business bring you live coverage from Omaha of the 2023 College World Series. Charles Hannegriff and Jimmy Ott anchor our team of coverage starting Thursday night at 6 p.m. and continuing Friday with a special edition of Live at Lunch at 11 a.m. Plus, We'll get you set for Tigers and Volunteers with a special pregame show Saturday at 3 p.m. Our coverage of LSU Fighting Tiger baseball and the 2023 Men's College World Series is powered by Rev Business.
Wait, did you say a special edition of Live at Lunch?
At 11 a.m. Friday, yeah.
Did you get the Thursday 6 o'clock show?
I did. I said that too.
Okay. I don't know why it's a special edition of Live at Lunch at 11 a.m. That's just when Live at Lunch is.
That's true. Maybe because it's in Omaha, so it's special?
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so. All right. What are we sending Handy and Ott? Oh, my God. What?
Maybe Handy can get a new Barrett sweatshirt. That one that he has, it's a little old. He might.
You want to get it out of the closet so we can show everybody for those that aren't familiar?
I mean, sure.
Yeah,
I can.
run and grab it real quick. And then the other thing, too, is Ott will probably, the two of them together will put a significant dent in the Jell-O shot challenge. Let's put it to you that way. Allowing those two to just turn loose for a week in Omaha or for however long LSU is in Omaha. There it is. Now, Hanny was very adamant that, so whenever I was put in the role that I am now, one of the first things, like the first week, I came in here on a Sunday and spent hours cleaning the studio and the closet next door to the studio because it was a friggin' disaster. It was just never my responsibility to pick up after everybody else. But I came in here and I cleaned the studio and I cleaned out the closet and I threw away tons of junk and organized everything. And one of the things Handy was most nervous about was whether or not I threw away his Barrett sweatshirt. So hold it up. There it is.
Is it on camera? I can't see.
Yeah, it is. It's a Barrett's Barleycorn sweatshirt. Of course, Barrett's is sort of the LSU bar in Omaha. Yeah, probably should have. Good job there, Paulie. Probably should have just handed it. No, hold it up. You're zooming in on it.
Well, I can't tell. I can't see the
hold it up.
the program shot.
There you go. No, you're good. Okay, so there it is. The Barrett's Barleycorn Pub and Grill, Omaha, Nebraska. Well done. So that lives in the closet next to the studio because a lot of you can put it down now.
Okay.
A lot of you like to complain that it's cold in here, and so when Hanny was doing the show in here, he would keep that sweatshirt and he would put that on. It's a very specific garment to wear whenever it's cold. It seems like just a very generic pullover, quarter zip, something like that might be
like I wear every single day. Yes, just generic black Nike quarter zip.
It's a better option than the Barrett's Barleycorn, like jerseys, cotton sweatshirt.
Well, my thing is, he was so worried about it getting thrown out, yet it just stays in the closet.
I did throw a lot of stuff out.
Okay.
No, but he wants it. I mean, it's still a Barrett sweatshirt.
Well, I know, but he just keeps it in that closet, and they don't even do the show here anymore.
But this was 4 months ago, and he was doing handy time there. But I see what you're saying at this point now.
Yeah.
But at that point, he was still doing the show in studio and wanted to make sure that his Barrett sweatshirt didn't get thrown out. There was also a bag in there it was Hanny's work bag that had just mountains of old, legal pads and just notes from games or things that I can't even imagine why you would even want to hold on to that sort of stuff.
It's still in there. That's where I got the sweatshirt out of.
Yeah. So I put that together in a corner, and it was like, Handy, all your stuff is still there. Just shoved it in a corner, and there it remains. Why? Now, why wouldn't he bring it with him?
Because he can get a new one.
He's not buying a new Barrett's Barleycorn sweatshirt. Why would you?
They might have new designs, Matt.
There's no reason. That's vintage. You stick with the vintage thing. You're not buying, why would you need another Barrett's Barleycorn sweatshirt?
So he can keep that one in that closet and actually, have one to wear?
If he were going to wear one, I think he'd be wearing that one. I think that's evidence of the issue at hand. All right. Todd Walker, who's done his own fair share of time there in Omaha, will be with us in a little more than 6 minutes from right now. Right now, though, we'll just flip segments. Let's do overrated, underrated.
Overrated or underrated?
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
All right, Matt, overrated or underrated? Pickleball.
I say pickleball is overrated. I don't know what the craze is about. Played pickleball in PE back in the early 90s. Shout out to Miss LeMabe, our PE teacher at Most Blessed Sacrament back in the day. We played a lot of pickleball. It's perfectly fine. I just don't quite understand the craze. It's still something where you got to run like you do in tennis. Maybe not quite as far as you would in tennis. There's nothing particularly special about the game that I think warrants the craze. I think it's a fad. I think it'll fade in relatively short order. Pickleball overrated.
Overrated or underrated? Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Usually when you throw out actors or actresses, I try to look at the versatility. Now, are you wondering about Channing Tatum, the actor, or just generally as a star?
We'll go star. Generally as a star.
Yeah, I think we're yet to see the best that Channing Tatum has to offer. I think he's shown some versatility as a comedic actor. Obviously, he's got like the traditional good look, so he's a very handsome man that's appealing to the opposite sex, which makes him sort of having that staying power like Leo or Clooney. What I'd like to see from Channing Tatum as he gets older is more versatility in his acting. I think it's there. I think we've seen a lot of different versions of Channing Tatum, but mostly as a comedic actor and as an action star. I'm curious if he can become a good dramatic actor, which might come in time. But I'm going to say Channing Tatum is properly rated right now, but with the potential to be significantly underrated as just a handsome guy, pretty face sort of thing. Yeah.
Overrated or underrated? A lot of thoughts there on Channing Tatum now. Okay.
Yeah.
Overrated or underrated? Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I think peanut butter and jelly sandwich is properly rated. Again, it is. No, you know what? I'm going to go underrated. I'm going to go underrated is what I'm going to do. I think there's versatility with peanut butter and jelly. You can go creamy, or you can go with the
chunky,
the chunky peanut butter. You could go with grape jelly. You could go with strawberry jelly. There's a lot of different opportunities there. You can go crust on. You can cut the crust. It's a very easy to make sandwich. You can go with a different variety of ratios with jelly and peanut butter. I think there's so many options. There's so much versatility there. It's easy to make. If you don't like peanut butter and jelly, I can't help you. Peanut butter and jelly is an underrated sandwich. We've even seen peanut butter and jelly ice cream. We've seen peanut butter and jelly, what are those things called?
Crackers?
Like the little pastries. There's so much you can do with peanut butter. We've seen peanut butter and jelly whiskey. We've seen peanut butter and jelly beer. Oh, yes. Yes, peanut butter and jelly. Underrated. Yeah, underrated.
Okay.
Go underrated.
Overrated or underrated? Live tweeting.
It depends what you're live tweeting.
Well, how so? Why? What do you like? Just because?
Well, if you're live tweeting something no one gives a damn about, then it's overrated. If you're live tweeting something that people care about, then it's underrated. But generally what I would say, the thing that's often overlooked with live tweeting is that because the average tweet populates a feed for about 16 minutes or so, what you do when you live tweet an event and you're consistently pumping out content is you remain relevant in people's feed for a longer time. So as a general practice, I would say live tweeting is underrated. Most people don't do it, have the time, the patience, the tolerance to do it, but that as a content creator is how you maintain your presence in people's feed. So in that instance, live tweeting, underrated.
That's overrated, underrated.
This is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com, hitting the road for that family vacay. Need tires before you go? The best place to buy tires is at Shaw Bills. With 18 locations in South Louisiana, Shaw Bills been doing it right for more than 50 years, where when you buy tires at Shaw Bills, they extend not only to you, but every vehicle in your home that Charlie's does. And that's a dozen benefits to buying your tires at Shaw Bills for everyone in your home. You go to the promotions tab at the website. You can see all the great summer promotions that are there right now. So before you hit the road for this summer's family vacation, if you need new tires on the vehicle, get them in a place where they'll sell you the best tires on the road for the cheapest price possible. That's Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills. We keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. 1 hour from right now, Pluckers Trivia. Muse is going to bomb today. He'll get the first question. 100% guarantee you get the first question. 100%. Like,
no theme today?
No.
Okay.
100% guarantee you get the first question right. The other two, you have no shot whatsoever. So you're going to go correct, incorrect, incorrect is how it's going to go today. I'd bet my life on it. What?
I understand. All right. Okay. You're on the record. Here we go.
Yes.
We'll check back.
You will 100%
One and then wrong.
You will 100% get the first question right. You will 100% miss the next two questions. Okay, it's after further review. Let's talk to T-Dub next. Say here.
AFR.
Love telling you about ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Electric vehicles for your home, electric vehicle chargers for your home or your office building. Drive around town, wherever you live. You see electric vehicles on the interstate, at the red light, in a parking lot as you're walking into work or wherever you may be, at the mall, shopping center, whatever it is. You see electric vehicles everywhere. What you don't necessarily see everywhere are EV chargers. Well, the government continues to incentivize. You continue to see more and more programs popping up for electric vehicle chargers. Federal dollars, state dollars earmarked to increase EV infrastructure. If you're a business owner, if you own a commercial building, an apartment complex, a shopping center, a restaurant, a dentist office, wherever it is, and you don't have EV chargers at your business, you're missing a giant opportunity. Let ProCharge EV explain how. ProChargeEV.com. Online, ProChargeEV.com.
Get 3.99% financing at Corvell Toyota in Opelousas on select 2023 models. And we also have a large selection of pre-owned inventory. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Turn my music high, 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 high. Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Sure I do. I'm from the streets where the hood can swallow on me. Bullets will follow on me. There's so much that you can run the slalom. The cops comb this top to bottom. They say that we are prone to violence, but it's home sweet home. With personalities clash and chrome meets chrome. Prices up and down like this Wall Street.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Tigers are in Omaha practicing that Creighton today. They'll practice at Charles Schwab Field tomorrow. Games start Friday, and LSU will be on the field there playing for real against Tennessee on Saturday. Guy who knows all about the College World Series, Todd Walker, good enough to join us now. How are you, T-Dub?
What up? Good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Hey, what's it like when you first touch down in Omaha, before you start playing the games, but you're in this moment now when you're 2-3 days out starting to get ready for the moment?
I didn't even have to do that. I got the ground ball that won the regional for us, and as I'm picking it up, throwing it over to first, I thought this moment's going to change my life forever, and it did. That was 1992. Got a chance to play, 93. Got a chance to play in Omaha for the first time, and it's special. You know that.
I'm curious what for the guys that are there now for this LSU team. When you're there on Wednesday, you're not playing till Saturday. What do you do, man? Like, how do you kill the time and not let it overwhelm you?
We had a ton of club meetings. A lot of people in Omaha wanted to see you as a team. They'd invite you to dinner. They'd invite you to, just to show up and say hi. I spoke at a church one Sunday. I mean, you just do all kind of random stuff, Certainly you don't. I think certainly you don't sit around and think about it all the time. You want to keep your mind moving around, and you just mentioned they're practicing, and then they got a dinner tonight, and then similar tomorrow. I think they go at 3:00 tomorrow at Charles Schwab, and time in between is not hard to do. There's just a ton of people who want to see face as a player, and of course the coaches as well. So a lot to do.
The format has also changed that a little bit, Todd, where it was stretched out, right, to where that championship series was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They've now condensed it. They've gotten less time in between games. Does that change strategically how LSU or any team would approach the College World Series?
See, I'm glad you asked that, man. See, I'm always playing defense over here. You got such great questions. You're firing them at me, and I got to be great, but it's fun. I'm ready for it. So you're right. Mississippi State won a couple of years ago with Will Bednar throwing 3 different times. He threw 18 innings in 2021, of course, the MVP, and they won it there. Skeens is not going to be allowed to do that for what you said, the condensed deal. So, but it's also why he has to throw the first game. So at least you've got a chance later in the series for him to throw at least one more time. So they play Saturday. If they win or lose, they'll play Monday. And the best Skeens could come back on is that Thursday game. And they would have a Thursday game, whether they won or lost. Of course, if they lose the first game, they've got to win a couple to get back to Thursday. So he could pitch twice. And if he did pitch on Thursday, he'd probably get to come for a little bit in the game 3 of the finals, because the finals used to start on Monday. Now they start 2 days earlier on Saturday. So it's less likely that you can have your best dude out there for 3 different outings like 2 years ago Mississippi State had.
Yeah, he's on Twitter at Todd Walker 12. College World Series gets underway on Friday. You had Tennessee Southern Miss, the Super Regional there in Hattiesburg. What's been the most, or maybe how much has Tennessee developed? The biggest change beginning of the year watching the team to the team you saw this last weekend?
2 things were they weren't playing well on the road, and they were kicking the ball all over the place. I think we're last in the SEC defensively. The pitching got better. They, of course, had it the starting rotation, and he wasn't very good. They put him in the back end. So as the pitching has gotten better, and they threw Andrew Lindsey in the middle, at the beginning of that rotation, he's not necessarily their ace, but he's throwing the first nights for them. He was really good down the stretch. I think they got him in there about halfway through the season. As the pitching got better, the defense got better. Mao Yahuna starting to feel a little more comfortable at shortstop, for example. Blake Burke had the most errors in that infield playing first base, but he's pretty good. So they've cleaned up the defense a little bit, and then, of course, they go to South Carolina in Week 10, 2 out of 3 against a very good South Carolina team. They got 1 hit in the tournament, but then since then they've been really good. They've had to do this whole thing on the road, and I think they won 3 at Clemson and then 2 out of 3 at Southern Miss. So they've won 5 of their last 6 on the road to get to Omaha. Tennessee's special, man. I mean, they got arms for days. Chase Burns on now at the back end throwing 100. They've hit as many home runs as LSU, or at least close to it. Their offense is really good, but that's ball Skeens.
Yeah, and look, they're going to have to tangle with Skeens as a hitter. I asked you this last week when we talked because Kentucky was seeing Skeens for a second time, and your answer was it's always better for a hitter the more you've seen a pitcher, if it's in a game or over the course of a season. Is it different Kentucky to Tennessee? Look, Kentucky still struggled against Skeens, as everybody does. Tennessee, you would think, is a better offensive team. Any difference in the answer this week?
Well, keep in keep in mind who you're talking about. Paul Skeens is that good. So when I say the more you face a pitcher, the more it becomes a hitter's advantage, that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to all of a sudden rake Randy Johnson the second time I've seen him.
Right.
You know, I mean, so that being said, no, I expect Skeens to do what he does. Go 7 innings, 8 innings. LSU's up 5-0 or whatever, and he closes it out. Is he a robot? I don't know. I mean, the 2 times he has not gone past 6 innings, been beat in 17 starts. So, you know, it's possible that he goes out there and maybe the lights are too big, or maybe something happens and he's not just this, you know, this Superman. If that's the case, Tennessee has a dude against him that's going to be pretty good. Now, I'm guessing it'll be Chase Dolander. But whoever they throw, Chase Dolander is going to be the second college pitcher pick behind Skeens in the draft next month. That's how good he is. So they're going to match him. And then, of course, in Omaha, have you seen it? You watched it for years. And, of course, I've been there too. And it all comes down to not banging out 15 hits. It's when you get timely hits that are unpredictable. Like, so I see a locked-in 1-0, 1-1 game fifth, versus Dolander, for example. And then they, you know, something happens, get a walk or something, and gets over second, somebody gets a key base hit, and that's really it, you know.
Why do you think they go Dolander instead of Lindsey?
He's got better stuff, and they've got the option to go anybody. Maybe during the course of the year, most people were avoiding Skeens. He's very good. So I'm not saying by throwing him out there they were just giving game 1 away. He's 95 with 3-pitch mix, but Dolander's got the best stuff. He's got the most swing and miss stuff, and he was in that Southern Miss game. They pinned 4 on him in the whatever inning that was, bottom of third or whatever. And Zane Denton makes a play for him at third, and then he goes off and retires 17 of the next 18 hitters for Southern Miss. So Dolander, it never changed his facial expression. He's totally poised. And so I just feel like combined with the stuff that Dolander has, he's poised for that moment. Like he like Skeens, can handle that moment.
Todd Walker's with us. Are you familiar with the other teams on LSU side of the bracket? They're in bracket 2.
Yeah.
Can you give us what do you think about Stanford and Wake?
Well, you know, Stanford has got in with a pop of that. They were matched pretty evenly with Texas. They have the Pac-12, you know, co-champs, you know, although I'm Pac-12, Big 12 co-champs. You know, they're Quinn Matthews, who I assume would start game 1 for them. Not overpowering, but threw 153 pitches against Texas the other day, 156 pitches, and struck out 16. Brandon Montgomery, the right fielder for them, is going to be a high draft pick. He's special. You know, but they're okay. I mean, I think the Pac-12 was a little down this year, but it's baseball. Anybody can beat anybody, you know. Stanford's, you know, but we all know about Wake. Wake's silly. The numbers are Nintendo numbers, but there's a reason the number 1 team in the country hasn't won the national championship in the last 22 years. For whatever reason that is, whether you put too much pressure on yourself, whether Rhett Lauder, who has a 1.9 and is 15-0 on the year, doesn't pitch well, who knows? You know, we faced a guy years and years ago, Long Beach State, named Daniel Choi, and if I'm not mistaken, when we game 1 Long Beach State, he was 16-0. So something like that, and we beat him 5-1. I mean, Russ Johnson hit a home run, Jim Greeley hit a home run or 2, and so weird things happen when you get down to the end here at the College World Series. But we all know how good Wake is.
In bracket 1, Florida or the field to advance to the championship series?
It's a great way to put it, and I'd still taking Florida.
Okay.
I just think the combination of Brandon Sproat and Hurston Waldrop at the top, you know, just now they can give it up a little bit, but they can get some key strikeouts in key moments. And if they get a little bit of energy going, they're special. And then we all know Brandon Neely on the back end. They've got a unique closer, you know. So that's part of what you look at in this College World Series is who's got a dominant arm in the pen. Florida's got one. Tennessee has one. And we know the one through Florida are special. I mean, I think Florida, Virginia, and of course LSU is the number 1 team in the country in run production, but Florida and Virginia, I think Florida's 11 and Virginia's like 7. So you got 3 of the top 10 offenses in the country in Omaha, and Florida and Virginia are 2 of them.
And let's hope next week, if you and I get to talk again, we're talking about LSU at this point, 2-0 in Omaha and looking to punch our ticket to the championship series.
Yeah, I mean, Skeens is going to do his thing, and Ty Floyd's been very good. He's still undefeated. Ty Floyd gives them a chance to win, whether he comes out in the third or whether he comes out in the sixth. You know, he's been good, and it's all going to come down to the bullpen, and the bullpen was good. You know, they've been good. They've leaned on about 4 or 5 guys with, you know, Thatcher Hurd, and, you know, they only used Blake Money, and who else did they use? Gavin Guidry and Riley Cooper in the Super. That's the only guys that were on the mound. So everybody else hadn't pitched in 2 weeks. The one thing I've seen about Omaha, if you have the luxury of getting up ahead of somebody or down by a lot, get the guys on the mound and get them an inning. Get them in there and get them comfortable and let them pitch. Because you throw them out there for the first time in a squeeze moment, it just doesn't work out well. So these guys that they didn't even use in the Super need to get out there and pitch.
Always a great perspective. Todd Walker, SEC Network, of course, LSU Great on Twitter at Todd Walker12. We appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, man. Give me a call. Thanks.
Will do. Thanks as always. We're brought to you by Traction Sports, TractionSports.com. I'll be over there tomorrow morning getting the work in, man. Whether you're an old guy like me just trying to stay in shape or you're an athlete, maybe it's your son or daughter who's a high school athlete or looking to be the best in whatever sport it is, Traction offers small group sport-specific training. So you want to learn more, go to TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. You want your son or daughter to be bigger, stronger, faster, more flexible, agile, athletic, whatever it is for whatever sport they play, football, baseball, basketball, volleyball, tennis, softball, track and field, it doesn't matter. You want them to be the best they can be in their respective sport. Traction offers that individual sport-specific training in small group settings with a membership available. You can learn more. And all this summer, remember, baseball camps every single week during the summer, full and half-day options. So you want your son or daughter to get better, baseball, softball, they can do it. And you also have a place for them to go and be productive during the summer months as well. It's at Traction. TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com, Traction, where champions are made. All right, in about 15 minutes, right after the top of the hour, I want to talk about some of what has been leaked already. The SEC 2024 football schedule is going to be released this evening on the SEC Network. There have been some leaks. We know some of what's coming for LSU. We'll talk about that here in about 15 minutes from right now. When we come back, Muse will do Tigers and the Pros, wrapping up hour number 2. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, that's where you can get them. 752-0001. Remember, Sunday is Father's Day. Of course, Father's Day is a holiday, and it happens to be on a weekend, but that doesn't matter because at River City's 1 Hour Air, if you have trouble with your AC, nights, holidays, weekends, doesn't matter. They'll always come out, and they'll always take care of you. Mark Giot sent this 5-star Google review, said Nathan, his technician, was great servicing the system, replacing the parts needed, terrific service, and great customer service as well. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. You see so many of those great 5-star reviews because so many of your friends and neighbors do what I do. Trust River City's 1 Hour Air. Ryan Blank said Justin came out at 8:30 on a Saturday morning. Quickly got his AC back and running after changing a bad capacitor. Doesn't matter what the issue is. River City's 1 Hour Air will come nights, holidays, weekends, and get you back running. 752-0001, whether always on time or you don't pay a dime.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
is a taco more than just a taco when it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Of course, every Wednesday's trivia over at Pluckers. Get on by tonight, 7:30 Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. Test your knowledge. Win Pluckers gift cards. Always a great night to get by Pluckers. All right, Muso as Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Started off with Alex Bregman, 2 for 4 last night. A couple of singles in the Astros 6-1 victory over the Nationals. Bregman also drew a walk in the game, so on base 3 times. OBP up to 344. The average up to 247. The Yankees last night, DJ LeMahieu. Were you watching, Matt?
I was watching.
Okay, so did you see the 7th inning?
No, because I had to drive Drew past the Baton Rouge General Hospital.
Well, you missed the 7th home run of the year from DJ LeMahieu.
I did miss that.
2-run shot, 1 for 4. Now up to 236, the 7 homers, 23 RBIs for DJ. Yankees win 7-6 over the Mets.
I got home last night, grilled a steak from Chris's. Shout out Chris's.
Yeah.
Tobin was here yesterday. It was fantastic, by the way. Burned my hands. I did exactly what he said. I put it on a skillet on the grill, and I wasn't even thinking, the handle on this thing is going to be really hot.
Yeah.
So I got, why did I do? So anyway, yeah, I got burned 2 things. Enjoyed a glass of wine and my steak and some asparagus. It was terrific. I was watching the Yankees and the Mets. And Drew likes to just go for a ride in the car. And of late, he just likes passing by the Baton Rouge General. So we just... Anyway, so I was driving in the car. Missed that. Missed DJ's homer. But all's well that ends well. Yankees win 7-6.
Yep, won the Subway Series there. Always love it. Great rivalry, right? Do some minor league baseball. Take it in reverse order. Start at AAA. Michael Papierski, really solid night against, for the Toledo Mud Hens. 2 for 4 for Pap. 3 RBI. His 4th home run of the year as well. Andrew a walk. Solid year continuing. 282. The 4 homers. Now 21 runs batted in for Michael Papierski. The Bowie Bay Sox.
Bowie. Come on, bro. How many times?
No, wait a minute.
How many times do we have to go over this? You keep saying Bowie. It's Bowie.
The Bowie.
You keep saying Bowie.
The
and then you
Bowie
get mad
Bay
when and I'm like, no, you keep saying Bowie. It's Bowie.
Why do I keep want to say Bowie? I don't know. Anyway, Zach Watson, that's what's really
important. And every time I
here.
correct, you're like, come on, wait a second. No. You keep making the same mistake over and over again.
1 for 3. Zach Watson last night is a single. He scored twice and drove in 2 runs. Solid effort there.
For the
buoy base-offs.
There it is. Think like a buoy in the water.
Yeah, all right. Jacob Berry.
Hey!
Oh, that's not what I need to have.
Oh, Berry.
There we go. Jacob Berry, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, a triple, his 4th of the year, and a run scored. Do we have time? Yeah, we have time.
Not your best day so far, Muse. Not your best. Oh.
We have time. We always have time for this. About 30 seconds. Paul Gervais last night for the Brooklyn Cyclones. 1 shutout inning of relief. 2 hits allowed. 1 walk. 2 strikeouts. And then Todd Peterson did things for the.
Are they on the same team?
No. He did it for the Wilmington Blue Rocks. 1 shutout inning of relief. That's Tigers in the pros.
Peterson.
Oh, man. Why wouldn't you do that first? Why wouldn't you do that first?
AFR.
Brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Muse, I'm so mad at you. Like, you just butchered that segment.
I thought we were going to have more time.
You butchered that segment.
And we could play it out. But
we need to recalibrate things over there, Muse. We need to take you to Michelli. Michelli Weighing and Measurement. We got to get you weighed, measured, and recalibrated. That's what we have to do. Hook you up to those precision measurement devices. You know what? They even have on-site calibration. So that's what we can do, Muse. We can get Michelli to come here on-site and recalibrate you so you don't screw up Tigers in the pros next time. But then again, I look at the clock and I realize it's probably about that time, Muse, when it's just starting to hit a little bit. You know what I mean? What was this little thing you gave me?
That was a buzz off. Get out of here. Do your Michelli read.
What is this little thing? Michelli.com. You know, Muse, Michelli's also hiring. Might be a good time for you to go hit the careers tab there at Michelli.com and apply for a job. An exciting new career with Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Online, Michelli.com.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. A state police commissioner who came under fire after a black employee at his business sued recently received Senate confirmation for that appointment. The State Police Commission says when his name came up, no senators opposed his appointment, so by default, he was confirmed. His appointment raising questions among watchdogs with all the scrutiny state police has faced. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $25,000 off new 22 Ram 1500 SCA trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood. ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring, 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Wizards and guard Bradley Beal will be working together in trade talks, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. With next Thursday's NBA draft looming, rival teams have started reaching out to Washington about possibly trading for Beal. He does control his destinations as he's the NBA's only current player with a no-trade clause in his contract. Pelicans have had cursory discussions about moving into the top 5 of the draft to land a potential star. Today on Get Up, ESPN's Brian Windhorst said there's apparently some thought within the league that New Orleans may make former top overall pick Zion Williamson available in a trade this offseason. When it comes to Zion, the concern does remain the same, notes ESPN's Bobby Marks.
I don't know if there's a magic wand where all of a sudden he gets traded somewhere and all of a sudden he becomes healthy again. I don't know if that's the case. That's the big thing. It's not from a talent perspective here, and you look at the body of work over the last 4 years, and it's been so uneven, and it's been health, right?
Bobby Marks on Fitz and Harry.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You know what today is, Muse?
Hump day.
Hump day.
It's hump day.
Fact. You know what else?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You know what else today is?
Hump day.
National Bourbon Day.
Nailed it.
It's hump day.
You know what I'm doing tonight?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hanging out with T-Bob.
Yep.
Hump day.
You know what else I'm doing tonight?
Drinking bourbon.
You're
It's
damn
hump
right.
day.
You've gotten a lot of these questions correct, Muse.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You will not get the Pluckers trivia questions correct.
Oh, you said I was getting number 1 right.
You will. You will 100% get the first one right.
It's hump day.
I just got a text from Darren James.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
That Darren James.
Hump day.
Realtor extraordinaire.
It's hump day.
The bread man at the grocery store ran up to me and said, "You look like Darren James. I watch you on AFR all the time." Send me the picture of him with the bread man.
What day is it, Mike?
Shout out to the bread man at the grocery store who took the picture with Darren James and watches AFR all the time.
Hump day.
I said, go back and ask him his name. I'll give him a shout out, but he hadn't replied yet.
It's hump day.
Todd Walker was here last hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
As was Andrew Lopez.
Hump day.
Pel's looking to trade Zion, perhaps.
It's hump day.
Football Tigers got another commitment.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get going. Here we go. All right, glad you're here. It is a Hump Day edition of AFR. We're driving you home and glad you're here. Big shout out to everybody. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Smash the like button, subscribe up to the channel. If you're watching on WBTR, Cable 19 in Baton Rouge, thank you very much as well. A lot of people say all the time they missed the show, which was on CST for so many years. Well, of course, CST ceased operations, so we didn't have a TV affiliate for some time, but WBTR has been a great partner. We're very, very grateful for them. Speaking of TV, tonight the SEC is pulling a page out of the NFL's playbook and turning its schedule release into a TV show. So at 6 Central, so 55 minutes from right now on the SEC network, we are going to find out everyone's opponents for the 2024 SEC football season. So not the schedule. We won't yet know the order in which everyone will play. What we will find out in less than an hour is who everyone is playing. Remember, in 2024, Texas and Oklahoma come into the league. The SEC is dropping divisions, and everybody will play 8 games. So what we know is that the SEC is putting an emphasis on maintaining traditional rivalries. So there's a lot of assumptions you can make. Auburn and Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, you get it. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, the Iron Bowl, LSU, Alabama, Texas, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Texas. They want to preserve all those games. We also know, and this is from I love that this is a story. This is a report at ESPN. And it's a report at ESPN citing sources. Forgive me. Actually, let's go make sure we remember all this. Muse, do you know who owns the SEC network?
ESPN.
Right. So if ESPN.com had gotten scooped on this story, you're terrible at your jobs. Like, it's literally your network. You own the network.
Yeah, basically. You are the source kind of thing, yeah.
Sources. What? Sources?
They went up to the 4th floor in Bristol.
My boss told me.
Yeah.
Like, that's really all you need. Anyway. So here's about one of the other things that we learned is that every team in the league will play either Texas or Oklahoma in year one. So there are 16 teams in the conference. So the 14 existing members, everybody, year 2024, will play either Texas or Oklahoma. So half the existing league will play Texas, half the existing league will play Oklahoma, and we know that Texas and Oklahoma are going to play each other as well, per sources at ESPN, meaning Bill in scheduling on the 3rd floor in Wing 17 of the ESPN Bristol campus. Oh, sources, come on, man, what are we doing here? I mean, it's like revealing a secret about your spouse. Sources. Really? Like, you mean the person that you share a bed with every night? Yeah, that person. Yeah. Anyway, so a couple other things that we know. Texas and Texas A&M are going to play in College Station. This will be their first matchup since 2011 when it was the last time they played as Big 12 rivals before, of course, Texas A&M came to the SEC. Alabama is going to have Alabama and Georgia are going to have a little bit of a brutal go next year. Georgia better enjoy the layup line this year with their schedule because next year ain't going to be that. Georgia has to go to Bama. They're at Texas, and they're maintaining their games against Florida, Auburn, and Tennessee. So that's 5 of Georgia's 8 conference games. Bama, Texas on the road, the Florida game in Jacksonville, and then Auburn and Tennessee. So, I mean, significantly more challenging schedule in 2024 for Georgia than what they're going to face this year. Alabama will play at Tennessee, and they'll play the LSU game. So we know LSU is going to Tuscaloosa this year, meaning 2024, Alabama will return the trip to Baton Rouge. As far as LSU, we know that LSU will host Bama, and we know that LSU will travel to Texas A&M. We've learned that. So those are the 2 we know for LSU, at A&M and home against Bama, and I think we're all going to assume that the LSU-Florida game is going to continue happening. Don't know that definitively, but I think a lot of us are making the assumption that that will happen. And LSU will play, obviously, either Texas or Oklahoma. So if you're wondering what we're going to look for with the LSU schedule. A couple of the other things we know, Texas is going to play at Arkansas. That's an old Southwest Conference rivalry. So Texas at Arkansas. We know that, as I mentioned, Oklahoma and Texas are going to continue their rivalry game at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Georgia, I mentioned, keeps its rivalry games with Florida, Auburn, and Tennessee. And Texas A&M and Arkansas will continue playing their game at Jerry World. So that had been a contract that they had extended, and that will extend this year. So Texas is at Arkansas. Texas A&M and Arkansas play their neutral site game. Texas A&M hosts LSU. So some of the things that have leaked, and it's also worth noting, some of these really, like, everyone had been scheduling attractive non-conference Power 5 opponents. Texas A&M opens next year against Notre Dame. And Alabama plays at Wisconsin in week 2. So a couple of the other non-conference games that are on the slate that'll highlight this schedule. So after, in less than an hour, we'll find out who everybody in the league is playing in 2024. My headphone got caught on my sleeve, and I went to adjust it, and then my elbow hit the mic. That was the kaboom you just heard there, if you heard the kaboom. Ooh, okay. We got a name of the man in the bread line at the store, or the bread man at the store. John LeBlanc. Shout out John LeBlanc. John LeBlanc was at the store, ran up to Darren James, said, "You look like Darren James. I watch you on AFR all the time." So shout out John LeBlanc. And interestingly enough, and I got my Darren James live after the next break. So shout out John LeBlanc. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. And shout out Darren James as well. All right, it's after further review. We'll break down LSU's opponents tomorrow whenever we have the full slate. Would love to get a couple of nice road games in there. Maybe a little Vanderbilt road game, a little Mississippi State road game. That'd be nice.
Nashville's a great trip, man.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, yeah. You gotta
Fantastic.
love it. Yeah.
Trying to think. LSU played at Vanderbilt in 2019, of course. Won the Natty.
And COVID year, 2020.
I was just thinking of Natty years.
They didn't play him in 03.
Played at Vandy in 05. I was there. Yeah, I didn't play him at Vandy in 7. They played Vandy in 9 and 10. It was either 08 or no, it was 9 and 10 or 8 and 9.
I think it was 9 and 10.
They played Vandy here in 09. And I don't remember if they played him there in 08 or 10. I don't really care. I just hope Vandy's on the schedule. Give me some Vandy. Give me some Vandy and some Mississippi State. Got to maintain Mississippi State, right, Muse? The oldest rivalry LSU's played to play Mississippi State more than anybody else. Can't let that one go by the wayside. Got to have more cowbell. Give me Vandy, give me Mississippi State. What? You don't want to see it?
I'm all for the Vandy game. I could take it or leave it with Mississippi State.
I'm just trying to load up the schedule with
Oh, then let's throw Missouri on there, too.
Oh, fair enough. Let's do it. Yeah. That's all I'm trying to do here, Muse. That's the objective. Give me less of Florida and Auburn and Alabama and Georgia and Tennessee, and give me more of Vandy and Mississippi State and South Carolina. Give me more of that. Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I'll take some of
Now,
that.
you have to protect the battle for the boot.
Oh, God.
That's the one you have to protect at all costs.
I will be tickled if LSU's not playing. Just to illustrate how pointless that stupid trophy is. I would be tickled if LSU does not play Arkansas next year. I'd love to see it. Love to see it, as a matter of fact. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. If you are in the market for a vehicle, make sure you put Volkswagen on your list. 9 different IIHS top safety picks. Highest safety designation you can get. Whenever you go to South Point, ask one of the associates there to explain to you all of the safety features. Explain to you how the frame of the vehicle is built with a Volkswagen and why it's going to be more crash and impact resistant. It's incredible. You know you have the peace of mind when you drive a Volkswagen. You're driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland. Test drive one today or go to southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, it's after further review. LSU lands a wide receiver commit today. Second commit in as many days for Brian Kelly and the squad. We'll tell you a little bit about him when we come back. We're glad you're here on AFR.
AFR.
Of course, every Wednesday is trivia over at Pluckers. So get your team together. Get by either location. Nicholson just south of campus or Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine and carry out or delivery. If delivery is easier for you, Uber Eats, DoorDash, just punch up the app. You can find it there. But Wednesday's all about getting by Pluckers. It's going to Pluckers, getting your team together and playing trivia. It's live action trivia. Test your knowledge. Win Pluckers gift cards. Remember, every team, whether you win a round or not, you get to spin the prize wheel. So every team, when you spin the prize wheel, you can win Pluckers gift cards, Amazon gift cards, or other great prizes. You can eat wings, you can drink beer, you can watch sports on TV, you can play trivia. It's a hell of a night. It's a good time. 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson for trivia at Pluckers every single Wednesday. Dine in, carry out, or deliver. Remember, it's Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
LSU landed a wide receiver commit. We'll get to that here in just a quick second. Tiger baseball team took off for Omaha this morning. They had a send-off out at Alec Box Stadium and then landed in Omaha. Got to go tour Charles Schwab Field. They're working out at Creighton this afternoon. Some pretty cool photos. Muse had a one observation, and I don't know if this bothered you a little bit here. There's Paul Skeens leaving Alec Box Stadium. And, it's interesting, too. It looks like everybody's in a single-file line, and then he's kind of off by his lonesome there. See that?
Yeah, he's just kind of going rogue a little bit.
And he's also going handlebar mustache. Can you see that?
I kind of like it, too.
Look at the handlebar mustache.
Hey, bro, he's fixed it up.
That's little Raleigh fingers there.
Yeah.
Right? Got the Raising Cane's hat on as well. Always plug the sponsors. That a boy. All right, Muse, go ahead. Get away with your little observation here.
Well, he's carrying an entire case of Smart Water with his pitching arm. I'm just curious if there's somebody else who could do that. I don't want Paul Skeens carrying anything with his right arm for the rest of the year. No, nothing. I don't care. You see the pillow he's got? He can carry that pillow. That's it. But the man's got a full case of Smart Water, and that became interesting because you know how they do it, Matt. They do all the social media, right? They're leaving. Oh, they're landing. Here's more pictures. They're on the field at the Schwab. There's more pictures. Yeah. Well, whenever they landed, Paul Skeens got off the flight with an empty pallet of Smart Water.
He was just sharing with everybody.
You don't think Paul Skeens drank them all? I mean, we've heard so much about the recovery process. You don't think it includes a pallet of Smart Water?
You think that it's not a pallet? It's just it was
a case.
I can't even tell if that would have been 12 or 18. So it was 6 per row, and I can't tell if it was 2 rows or 3. So it was either 12 or 18 bottles of Smart Water. Those are probably 20-ounce bottles of Smart Water. So if you're talking about 12 20-ounce bottles of Smart Water, 240 ounces of Smart Water, how many ounces in a gallon? Hey, Siri, how many ounces in a gallon? 128. So you're talking about nearly 2 gallons of water. Your boy didn't drink 2 gallons of water on a plane. I'm sure he was just carrying the Smart Water, and he shared it with all the teammates there.
We have no evidence of that.
It is so. On a given day, you should drink a half ounce of water per pound you weigh. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should drink 100 ounces of water. So Paul Skeens weighs, what does they say, weighs 240 thereabouts?
Yeah, he's like 6'4", 240.
So Paul Skeens should drink 120 ounces of water, right? He should drink about a gallon of water a day. You're saying that on one plane flight, he drank twice the amount of water that he should drink in an entire day?
I mean, that's kind of the only logical inference here, Matt. He got on the plane with a full case of Smart Water, got off with an empty one.
No.
You think when the stewardess was just coming by to give snacks and she asked Paul Skeens what he wanted to drink, he's like, nope, got it covered, and just pulled a Smart Water out from underneath the seat?
I have this official. It was a 24-pack of Smart Water, and they were 20-ounce bottles. So there is no way your boy drank over 400 ounces of water on one flight. He would have thrown up that amount of water if he tried. It's hard enough to do that in a day. You're not doing it on a flight from Baton Rouge to Omaha, which is probably max a 2-hour flight.
Shotgun and Smart Water.
No way. No.
Look, all I'm saying,
LSU is a Coca-Cola school, which is why as it was noted to me by the person who just texted. So thank you for the heads up.
All I'm saying,
always plug the sponsors.
When Paul Skeens shoves on Saturday and just strikes out the entire Tennessee lineup, it's because of the Smart Water.
It may be in part because he's hydrated and takes great care of himself. What I'm telling you is there's no way that man drank over 400 ounces of water on one flight. Okay, it's after further review. You know what? I was trying to transition to the Hudco read. I could say maybe if he were able to relieve himself from on high and was outside of the plane, it falls down because it was so much water, you might have roof damage. Hudco, right?
That could happen.
How about that? It's Paul Skeens' urine after all. Could be super powerful. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. That's us, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. locations all over the state of Louisiana. We have offices and boots on the ground in every corner of the state. Something else I'd also mention, I know we do service parts of Texas as well, and the Dallas area and the Amarillo area just got hammered with hail. There was a baseball-size hail this past weekend. If you were impacted, we'd love to help you out. 225-364-1007, 364-1007, or HUDCOroofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. Storm season is upon us. Hurricane season is upon us. Make sure your roof is in tip-top shape. Let us come give you a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. It's HUDCO Roofing and HUDCOroofing.com. 364-1007 or HUDCOroofing.com. For the second time in as many days, Brian Kelly and the LSU football Tigers land a commitment. This time, 4-star wide receiver Kylan Billiot has committed to LSU. Billiot, a receiver out of Terrebonne, 6'3", 185-pounder, long, lean, athletic guy. The number 48 receiver in the country, the number 9 player in the state of Louisiana. A couple of things here. Billiot, kind of doing a little bit of research on him today. This guy is also a shooting guard on the basketball team, and he runs the 200 meters in track, also does the long jump and the high jump. You know what I want? Do you know what I want in a receiver? I want a 6'3" receiver that runs the 200 meters and also competes in the long jump and the high jump. Yes, please give me that guy running routes and catching passes. That's Kylan Billiot, who's now commitment number, I had it right here. Commitment number, my apologies. 1 second. Commitment number 17. I thought it was 17, but they had a decommitment as well over the weekend from Tavion Galloway. So commitment number 17 for LSU right now. 9th best class in the country, the 4th best class in the SEC for 2024. And like we talked about when we talked about Joel Rogers, the safety commit, LSU continues to thrive in recruiting Louisiana athletes. I know we talked about it, but it's kind of worth mentioning again when you're talking about the best players in the country or in the state for the class of 2024. You look at the state rankings, the top committed players in Louisiana, all of the top committed players in Louisiana are committed to LSU. Tradez Green, the number 2 player in the state of Louisiana, committed to LSU. Deshaun McBride, the 5th best player in Louisiana, committed to LSU. Kalaj Cobbins, the 6th best player. Juwan Johnson, the 7th best player. Joel Rogers, the 8th best player, all committed to LSU. When you look at Kylan Billiot, who we just mentioned, Damarian Johnson, the 12th and 13th best players in Louisiana, according to On3. All of the top committed players from the state of Louisiana are committed to LSU. So Brian Kelly continues to crush it in state. A couple of other things with Billiot in particular. When you look at wide receiver for this coming class, and especially looking forward for this year and beyond, receiver is going to be a position where LSU has to start stacking numbers. Of course, we saw this last year. Jeray Jenkins, Keyshawn Boutte leaving LSU, Jack Besh entered the transfer portal. And for 2023, you've got Malik Neighbors coming back, and you got Brian Thomas coming back, and Kyron Lacey's back for a senior season. But all 3 of those guys are going to be gone for 2024. We're expecting Neighbors is going to have a dominant season, is going to go pro. Likely the same for Brian Thomas after his junior year. And then Kyron Lacey is a senior this season. So when you look to 2024, the players that you're going to have back, provided they don't hit the portal, Chris Hilton, Landon Ibieta, Aaron Anderson. Hilton has spent much of his career injured. Ibieta was injured last season and redshirted. And then Aaron Anderson redshirted at Alabama and transferred to LSU. So none of those 3 players have really material experience. In this class, for 2023, you signed 4 receivers. Shelton Sampson, Kyle Parker, Jalen Brown, Kai Preon. Now, any of those guys could explode. And so in 2024, you could have young veterans, any of those guys going into their sophomore year. You could be really excited, just like you were Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas this past year. Both had really nice freshman seasons for LSU in 2021. And so there was a nice expectation with them as complementary pieces in 2022. So that could be the case for any of Sampson, Parker, Brown, Preon in 2024. But you can't go into that season without continuing to stockpile talent at that position, which is why you're seeing LSU focus on that receiver position again for 2024. So it's nice to see a guy like Kylan Billiot, another guy from Louisiana, one of the top prospects in the state, who, as of now, has mostly smaller school offers. Georgia Tech, Tulane, Southern Miss, FIU. Those are some of his early offers. But playing at Terrebonne, where he maybe wasn't featured as much, he comes to LSU's camp, he works out, he gets the offer. Well, whenever you get the LSU offer, you're going to get so much more attention. This is a guy who throughout his senior season, you would fully expect is going to get on the radars of and get more attention from major programs and get more and more offers as the season goes along. So it's always interesting to watch guys who continue to develop as their high school career goes along. Some people are early bloomers, and you just know when they're freshmen, sophomores in high school that they're going to be dudes and they're going to be 5 stars. Others, it takes to their junior, their senior year when they really start to develop and start to earn those offers. It's why the prospect camps are so important. You come work out, and you earn that offer. And just days after getting the LSU offer, Billiot has committed to LSU. Again, 6'3", 185, long jump, high jump, runs the 200 meters, shooting guard in basketball. Freak athlete. You can watch his huddle highlights and see what type of player he is, what type of athlete he is. You refine that that athleticism into a true receiver. A lot of reasons to be excited. So another commit number 17 for LSU for the class of 2024. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do some Pluckers trivia. We'll lob a few questions at Muse. Again, this is just a total spoiler today. Muse will 100% get the first question right. And he will 100% get the next 2 questions wrong. We'll do Pluckers trivia when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
Buying or selling commercial or residential? Think real estate. Think Darren James. You know, one of the things Darren says all the time to me is he wants to make the home buying or selling experience stress-free. When you look at surveys of the most stressful experiences in people's lives, generally moving is at or near the top of the list because there's so much that goes involved with packing a house, selling a house, all the financial implications, physically moving all of your stuff. Well, Darren aims to make it not only a stress-free but an enjoyable experience. Like when you buy a home from Darren or you sell your home with Darren, Darren will throw a housewarming party at your new home for you and family and friends. It's those types of things, the extra mile Darren goes of service. Like Darren's contracted with moving companies to get you a discounted rate to get your stuff moved to your new place. You need to sell your home? You need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up right down on my last dime. Come home in Baton Rouge. I'm ready, what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey there, little buddy. What's the matter?
What's the matter? My windows, siding, and my door. That's what's the matter.
Relief Windows can fix all of that. I got you. Pop, pop. What's up?
Oh my gosh, look!
Curb appeal. That's a good-looking neighborhood.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
104.5 ESPN and Acura of Baton Rouge wants to know, how rad is your dad?
Rad.
Upload a picture of
Really
your dad
rad.
doing dad things to 1045ESPNBatonRouge.com now through June 15th for a chance to win him a charter fishing trip for 4, courtesy of LouisianaCharterFishing.com. We'll choose a winner at random on June the 16th. Happy Father's Day from Acura of Baton Rouge, Louisiana Charter Fishing, 104.5 ESPN.
Rad.
Rad.
I feel like I should win. Rad Dad. I have a Rad Dad shirt. I literally have a shirt that says Rad Dad on it.
Upload a picture, or have Erica, have E-Rock, upload a picture of you doing dad things.
And Drew has a shirt that says, "My dad is rad." They're like matching shirts. What if I take the picture with Drew?
I mean, if you didn't work here, that'd absolutely win.
I'm sorry. Did I hear any stipulation about working?
That's implied. We can never win these things.
There's no such implication. These are legal contests. There are laws and are rules, stated in written rules, associated with these contests.
Who picks the winner?
The fine print, as it were.
Is Brittany picking the winner?
I have no idea who's picking them. Okay. I don't know. I'm sure they have something. That's the props meeting I'm in Mondays at 10 o'clock. I just don't really pay attention.
Okay. Upload the picture, Matt. See if you can win it.
I think I will. All right, let's do trivia. Busy night tonight. Pluckers trivia tonight. 7:30 Bluebonnet. 8 o'clock Nicholson. Get on by. Test your knowledge. Win Pluckers gift cards. It's easy. You just got to answer questions. So we lob some of these questions out to our dear friend Mussolini over here. See how he does.
It goes great every week.
Usually disappoints us greatly. All right. The first one you're going to nail.
Okay, you've put a lot of pressure on me with this, actually. I'm kind of nervous
How
now.
about this? If you don't get the first one, I'll quit my job.
Oh, that's even more. All right. It must be a layup.
Drew Brees played college football for what university?
Okay, Purdue.
Okay, thank you. I can stay gainfully employed.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, Muse. When I said 100%,
yeah.
I'm the guy who always says, "Hey, don't speak in absolutes."
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's why I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is some pressure here.
Now, I will be stunned if you get either of these.
Okay. Shock the world. Here we go.
Let's see. Maybe you will.
Let's go.
It's happened before.
It has. Few and far between, but it's happened before.
Maybe that gummy you popped an hour ago takes your brain to some unforeseen place, and you just absolutely pluck something out of the deep recesses of your mind, and you nail these. It could happen.
Spreading lies over there.
It could happen.
Lies.
All right, Muse. The symbol for a popular Japanese beer, the Kirin, closely represent. Excuse me. The symbol for a popular Japanese beer, the Kirin, closely resembles what mythical creature?
God, I feel like Vineswag would know this. How about mythical creature that would look good on a beer can? Centaur?
A unicorn is what we were looking for.
It's a good guess. I was in the horse family there, right? Isn't that the one that's
it was a guess.
Yeah. Isn't that the one that's half man, half horse or something like that?
It was a guess.
There you go.
I don't know if it was a good guess, but it was
That's
a
a
guess.
good guess.
No, it was a guess. Just a guess. Name as many mythical creatures as you can, Muse. Go.
A centaur, a unicorn, a hobbit.
The two that we just
a hobbit. I went on there. A leprechaun.
A hobbit's
Unless you're in Mobile, Alabama. Those are real there.
Hey, I seen leprechaun say yeah. I want to know where to go at. I want to go. All right. So far, Muse, my predictions have been spot on.
All
right. How do you feel about old music? Old musicians?
Like, I mean, that's a very broad. I mean, what do you consider old? Are we talking like the 20s or something?
Born in 1937.
Okay, so yes, we are.
No, this is born in 37. You said the 20s.
Okay, I know, but I meant that. Continue.
I mean, what was confusing? You said you're talking about the 20s. I said born in 1937. You said, okay, that's it. No, like, it's not the same thing. The 20s and the 30s are not the same thing. They're totally different decades.
That preceded and followed each other, but yeah.
And are not the same thing.
I didn't say they were the same
You
thing.
did.
I said, oh, that's around the same time period.
That's not what you said. Roll it back.
I don't have time to do that.
Sure you do. We got 19 minutes left.
I'm trying to nail this question here, Matt.
Born in 1937, which American singer-songwriter, famous for pioneering country's outlaw movement, would go on to give up his seat on the ill-fated 1959 flight that killed Buddy Holly? Show ends at 6, Muse.
Yeah, well, you can say you got 19 minutes. We got plenty of time.
You said we didn't.
Oh, God. I feel like when you actually say the name, I'm going to know the name, and it's going to aggravate me. And I know what I'm about to say is not right, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's the only name that comes to mind, and I'm going to say George Jones, and I know that's not correct.
That's not correct. So why would you say it?
Because it's the only name that came to mind.
Okay. It was Waylon Jennings.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, yeah, of course.
I said I would know the name whenever you said it.
Sure. You didn't know the name Sonny Liston.
I know the name Waylon Jennings.
That's embarrassing.
That's not embarrassing.
You work at a sports talk station.
We also have a country station down on the next
You
floor
work at a
below
sports
us.
talk station.
Okay, I listen to a lot of country music.
You work at a sports talk station. You are a self-described sports fan, and you didn't know who Sonny Liston was. That's embarrassing.
That's not. I'm totally fine with that.
You can be fine with it.
That.
That's
then
embarrassing.
It can't be embarrassing.
As a sports talk radio employee, to not know who Sonny Liston is embarrassing.
I'm not embarrassed by it.
I'm embarrassed for you.
That's not how it works.
You're not. I'm embarrassed for you right now.
You don't have to.
And you're only not embarrassed because you're high as a kite right now.
That's not true.
You've numbed all of those embarrassing. Look at Paul. Paul. If you worked at a sports talk station, shouldn't you know the name Sonny Liston?
I would say so, yeah.
Paul has the picture on his wall. That's not fair.
He doesn't have the picture of Sonny Liston. He says he has a picture of his dad with Muhammad Ali.
I thought you had the picture with him.
No,
it's the picture.
You don't
Yeah,
listen.
see,
What you
I
don't
told
do.
you don't
You
listen.
said you got an autograph, a picture of your dad with Muhammad Ali.
No, he got the autograph from Muhammad Ali for me.
He didn't take a picture with Muhammad Ali?
No, this was...
So why wouldn't your dad take a picture with Muhammad Ali?
Because this was 1991.
They didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
He didn't have like a disposable camera or something?
No.
It's a bummer. What an opportunity. You meet Muhammad Ali, wouldn't you love to get a picture? Like, hey, champ.
Got their autograph, so that's pretty cool.
No, that is really good. That's really good.
How many times do you think Muhammad Ali's been asked to reenact that picture with like a fan? Just have a fan
Muhammad
lay
Ali
down.
is
And I
dead.
know that. I
don't know that you knew that. You didn't know who Sonny Liston is. Let's make this a poll question, Muse. Should someone who works at a sports talk station know who Sonny Liston is?
Well, we can do that tomorrow.
Yet,
We already have a poll question.
Do you know the name Sonny Liston? No, we'll have another poll question.
I don't think we can
I'm the program director. We'll do whatever I damn well please. My show, and I'm the program director. This is a radio tatership is what this is. Another poll question. Do you know the name Sonny Liston, yes or no?
How do you spell that?
SONNYLIST. You know what I should have done? THAT. LISTON. Google it, Muse. Kids these days and their damned internet and whatnot. All you Gen Zers. So much entitlement and whatnot. And your internets, your interwebs. No respect for the past. I've become Richard Condon. That's what I've done. Shout out to Big C. It's a damn double standard. I love my guy. All right. Do you know the name Sonny Liston? Yes or no?
I feel like we should have done that last week.
We're doing it now. This is a radio tatership. Nailed it. All right. Otter next. AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seaganer Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Hey, look, if you're going to be watching the College World Series Saturday, LSU plays at 6 p.m. Saturday night. It's around dusk. Well, let's be at 6 o'clock. It's still pretty daylight. But shortly thereafter and during the game, it will be dusk. And that's usually when the skeeters come out. You want to take care of skeeters 90 days at a time? Sit on your back patio, watch the game, enjoy your outdoor spaces, and not worry about swatting skeeters all the time? Clegg's Nursery can help. They've got the Aeon Mosquito Barrier. It'll take care of mosquitoes for 90 days at a time, and it costs $24.99, like $25, and you're done with mosquitoes for 90 days at a time. Pick them up today at any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has up to $7,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing on new 23 Ford F-150 XLT trucks and incredible deals on all remaining 2022 inventory. All with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
He gave you Oakland on the money line. He gave you the Reds on the money line. He gave you a 3-team parlay that included Dodgers first 5, Padres on the money line, and the Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line, plus 512. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we call a perfect night for our friend, the Ott Father, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Rocking chair, baby. Rocking chair. Never a sweat. Never a sweat.
How about a few more of those, Otter? We needed that one. We got it. We got it.
Well, at 11:45 a.m. at Roca Pizzeria down the street, guess we gave out 3 picks, 3 for 3, including San Francisco plus 150. Okay, so we're hot. Let's go. Let's get it going. No, you against the clock. First of all, College World Series. Game Stanford plus the money.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yes, individual game. First
We like Stanford money line here?
Yeah, Stanford money line. All right, next. TCU LSU parlay plus 133 at DraftKings.
Okay.
Okay. Yankees tonight. Cole first 5. Basically even money for the best pitcher in the American League. Verlander. I think it's just about his name. That's a cheap price for Cole first 5. That's the first one. Cincinnati, slightly better pitching. Damn it, why stop now? Kansas City sucks. Cincinnati's rolling. We're going to roll with that one. My favorite play tonight, Arizona's at home. Their best pitcher, Philadelphia's worst pitcher. They're at home and minus 20. The D-backs.
Okay.
All right, and A's. Do you need to really know why? Just ride the damn A's. They're hot as crap. All right? Don't ever underestimate the effect of a reverse boycott, baby. That was special last night. And we got another 3-teamer.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay, let's do it.
San Diego walk up 7 straight starts, 2 earned runs or less. That talented lineup is heating up, Matt. They continue to roll. Also, 3-teamer, San Diego money line, Los Angeles Dodgers first 5. Kershaw, enough said, against at home, and then Houston Framber Valdez. That plays plus 211 at DK. Okay. San Diego money line, Houston money line, Dodgers first 5.
I love it.
Yeah, Max, you can go now. Max, you can go. After 3.5 hours, Max has taught me how to figure out the iRig, so we're doing good.
They do not pay me enough to do this PD job. They don't. It's just that simple.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Would you rather teach Annie? Okay.
Everybody's problem is now my problem, including Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff and their inability to plug a cable from the mixer into the phone to get studio audio instead of just natural sound in a loud restaurant.
Absolutely. Adapt or die. But, hey, we're getting old. So,
Oh, my
1 minute.
God.
Hey, but we got life on these bases, baby. We got life.
Brother, just keep pumping winners, and I'm all good. I'll help you connect whatever phone you need, Otter.
Oakland A's, baby. The Oakland A's. Is there anything better? Come on. And listen, it is a horrible pitching matchup for the A's tonight. But it's magical. It's magical right now in the Coliseum.
The Otter, see you in 2020, thanks to Dr. Blake Williamson, and giving us just winner after winner after winner.
There you go. Okay, real quick. What's the policy in Omaha? Is it Del Mar banned? What are we doing here?
I don't. As long as you're feeding me winners, we're gonna ride it. All right.
There we go. We'll try it. See how it starts off.
All right, Otter. Safe travels. We'll see you.
Thank you, Matt.
Of course, Dr. Blake Williamson, the Williamson Eye Center. They're just the best. Otter and I both patients of Dr. Blake. He's the best. WilliamsonEye.com. WilliamsonEye.com. All right, Muse Pauly. Thanks. We'll see y'all tonight for Scone and Tea.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding, and their state-of-the-art showroom at their brand-new headquarters. If you've not yet been to the Relief Windows headquarters, if you're thinking about new windows, if you're thinking about a new entry door, if you're thinking maybe siding, hardy plank, or vinyl siding is a great option for my home, go to the Relief Windows showroom. Walk-ins are welcome Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Walk-ins always welcome Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. They're on Airline Highway in Prairieville. Go south on Airline, you pass Highway 42, quarter mile on the right, cannot miss it. It is gorgeous. The same company that did LSU football operations, their renovation, did the Relief Windows showroom. Trust me, it's awesome. Go see it. Windows, door, siding are always online at reliefwindows.com. That's reliefwindows.com. Experience, quality service. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, I'm happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.